knowing the bandits, they won't actually read the email that I've sent them. They will just, they will all show up on Discord. So I'm going to try to do that as well while I'm at it here. I have another, or should I just let them figure it out? I wonder if I should just let them figure it out. See if they actually, maybe I'll get Baz. I'll text Baz and just get him to make sure that everyone knows to show up. Can you post it in TechBandits live chat? What is the Zoom code? See? What did I tell you? What did I say? All right, let me do this. Let me pop this into the other one then. So we are live now because I don't want anyone to miss the chaos, right?
Yeah, of course.
That would be no fun at all.
This is the best bit.
It's sad to say that it is. It's true. And Lance, or Gimpy G, or whatever you want to call yourself, you are muted, just so you know. You're welcome to not be muted, but you are muted in case that's of any use to you. All right, let me see what I've got here. I'm going to go to Discord and just add the link in Discord, because God forbid anyone get off Discord and actually read their emails. We're so... I feel so old. I almost roped you into that as well there, Candy. I was like...
Yeah, well, I've got a teenager as well. I know what it's like.
Teenagers. If you weren't old already...
Yep.
All right. So I'm just gonna send them the links, because do your teenagers use email, or are they just texting you basically?
Instagram. My teenager messaged me on Insta.
Oh, really?
Yep.
All right. I'm putting it in live chat for them right now. Live, going in. There's the link. All right. That's it. On Zoom today. If you want to talk with your voices.
Ooh, voices talking.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, sorry, Lance, this is Candy Lance. Candy Lance is a good name too, actually.
Lance is fantastic.
But Candy Lance is even better.
It would definitely be a good porn name, but wait, TechBandits. We're not doing that.
What? You were about to go? Wait, so you were about to go like inappropriate already?
I was going Andrew Dice Clay for a second.
Oh, Andrew Dice Clay! Oh my God, you've just dated yourselves and me.
We're old, dude.
All right, I have no idea who Cookie Man is. Should I be worried? I'm about to admit Cookie Man.
Is it Wolf Pup's new identity?
Hello, Cookie Man. Who's Cookie Man?
Hello?
Oh, no, this...
Aha!
Hello.
I knew it. I should rename myself, shouldn't I? Hewlett the Great. How's that?
My name was my actual name, so I didn't want to go in with it.
Oh, smart. You know what? I didn't even think of that for people. That's a really good point.
So I just changed it to Cookie Man, because that's the first thing that I was thinking of.
You know what? It's the first thing I'd be thinking of, too. Well, Cookie Man, welcome. We've got Candy Medusa here today and her fabulous wallpaper. I should pull up the chat so I can see what's going on there as well, probably. Because that would make me a good YouTuber.
Ooh, by the way, you need to change it to just chatting.
Oh, do I? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey! Baz!
Hello!
How are you, buddy?
I haven't been on Zoom.
I am good.
I haven't been on Zoom for quite a while, so it is very
Isn't it weird?
nostalgic.
It is nostalgic. Oh, we've got Cookie Man has become nostalgic. Baz, do you feel nostalgic about it as well?
Reminds me of late 2020. Do you remember those times?
Oh, those good old years.
I remember, because the last time I used this, it was with, what's it called?
When school first started?
No, Code Ninjas.
Oh, Code Ninjas. Oh, yeah, okay. How was Code Ninjas, by the way? I see them around a lot.
It wasn't early. I'm trying to explain how to, we made projects on Scratch, but it was like a walkthrough.
Right. Candy, do you do any art, any sort of computer-based art as well as your?
I know the answer.
What is it? Lance already knows the answer?
Yes, I do. We've shared.
You've already shared digital art?
Yes, it was pretty nice.
Wait a second. I'm sorry. Doesn't the world just stop when I'm not there?
You know what? You are the dreamer, but we still go on in your subconscious.
I see. All right. This is Codename Glenn.
No one will ever crack that code.
Nope. No one's going to code that one. Code that one? Crack that one? Glenn, if you want to go to your usual hidden name as opposed to whatever name that is.
Why don't we not call him his actual name?
Well, because it says it on the screen.
No, how you could just completely ignore that.
There you go.
I see. Let's just put your big name up. There you go. There we go. Chips.
Oh wait, my name's there as well. Oh wait, my whole name's there.
Yeah, heaven forbid they would know your whole name, Baz. That would be a disaster.
There you go. That's better.
No, Baz.
What's the best? Probably this view is probably the best. Do people like that? Is it people like that from a view standpoint? I guess so. All right, look. Poor Candy, who is used to actually doing this the right way, which is to actually have real people and be standing up in front of them to talk to them, has been incredibly patient. She's walked me, we squirreled together for a little while last week in an attempt to find out what the deal was. But Candy, first off, thank you very, very much for being here. Do I sound more like a host now?
You're welcome.
Do I sound more like a host now that we're actually doing this than I did when we were talking?
What was the question? So there's a pig behind me. It's distracting, right?
Oh, can we see the pig?
You may see the pig. Hold on.
Get this, guys.
Hold on.
My gosh.
Hang on.
Oh, I love it.
Let me move the dog.
Shih Tzu, right?
Pigs.
It's a Shih Tzu and a pig.
Two pigs.
Oh, I hope they have babies. Two pigs.
What would that be then? I don't think it works that way, Lance. Someone better explain
You
that to me one
can't
day.
stop making names out of Shih Tzu. It's not. You can't make a combination breed with that word. It starts getting dangerous.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, God.
Oh my God, they're exactly the same as Huzzah. They fall off the sofa.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
I know, aren't they the most ridiculously cute things you've ever seen?
Now, are they bright? Is that just like a wide still, or are they quite bright?
Well, like, are they smart? Like,
yeah. That's not even dogs. They can work computers. They can work computers. Have you not seen that? They can play computer games with joysticks. These ones can't.
oh, I saw that. That's right. They trained them to do that.
Yeah.
I'm doing that with David in the coming weeks.
Right. Sorry, how do we ban people again on Zoom? All right. Sorry, Candy. Never ever be on screen with animals or children, and you've done both in one fell swoop. So let us know. So why did you feel the need to be here, a part of this chaos with us?
Oh, I thought it'd be a laugh.
So you figured you'd sailed around the world picking up plastic, and it couldn't be more of an adventure than that.
Oh, no, wait. She did
What?
what?
Sorry.
What's that, Candy? You didn't tell me this, Candy. What did you do?
Oh, you didn't know this?
Sailing. Oh, you don't know about sailing? Well, shall we start there? That is as good a place as any.
Yeah, why not?
So there's this organization called X Expedition. So it's EXX Expedition, and the two X's are for X chromosomes because it's all women. And
that's good. Good.
Yeah. And it sounds
that
fancy,
wasn't me.
too.
That wasn't my idea. Although I have co-opted that idea, and I call my exhibitions X Exhibition.
Oh my God, totally.
See what I did there?
Yeah, genius.
So they first started sailing, I can't remember when. A few years ago, they did like a cross-Atlantic thing, sampling for plastics. And basically, up until COVID, this same boat has been going like around the world, and they get a different crew every couple of weeks, like a different crew of women.
Is it a completely different crew, or are there key people who stay?
There's skipper who stays, and then there's also a science lead who mostly stays, but then sometimes you get a different science lead.
Right.
So normally you would have so it's a crew of 13, normally you'd have 3 people who know how to sail.
Right. Did you know how to sail?
No. I still don't. You know, they just point at you and go, pull on that, and you do.
That's like sailing with my dad, except he yells at you.
No, there's no yelling. Hold on, a small person wants me. Yes, can I help you? Hi. Ed. Yes, that's fine.
Oh my gosh, he is. He does. He has tiny people.
You've got tiny
pigs.
people,
This is
tiny
fantastic.
pigs, and tiny dogs.
I've got 2 tiny people, 2 pigs, 2 dogs, 2 lizards, a turtle, and some fish.
Oh my God.
Well, that's
You have pigs and lizards?
Mm-hmm.
Pigs and lizards
That is
living
insane.
together. I would do a pig in a
I
second.
like chaos.
I would have a pig in a second. I'd love the idea of a pig.
Yeah, you need a pig.
But it would be
Everybody
cold
needs
in
a
the
pig.
winter, wouldn't it?
No, they live indoors.
And we have to
They're
stop
outside.
eating bacon.
Yeah, you would.
All right, sorry. So the ship. You've got a
That's grim.
ship
Right,
that's
yeah.
constantly traveling around the world.
So off it goes. It's 70 feet. So it's quite big, but then also quite small. When
I was going to say, that's a lot. How many people are on this thing?
13.
Wow.
So you
My
sleep.
goodness.
So the bunks are 3 high. So you've got 1, 2, 3,
Right.
and they're literally about like if you've got a head torch on and you're in the bunk, the head torch is touching. That one's a bit flatter than mine, but if you've got a normal sized head torch, it's touching the bottom of the bunk above you.
Right.
So it's like being in a coffin.
Wow.
It's literally like this.
bedwetters on top, or do they get bottom, or how's that work out?
They allocated it based on size of human.
Okay.
So because the bottom bunk is bigger because you need to be able to stand on the edge of it to get into the next one.
Right.
Okay.
And
Agility.
then you have like a cloth that you do up so that you don't fall out when it's pitching. Because Sea Dragon,
Oh my.
the boat, so it's designed to sail at 45 degrees. It's heeled at 45 degrees.
Because that's comfortable.
So all the time you're like this. So when you're sleeping and you're like this, and then if they have to tack, then you're like this.
Wow.
And you're cooking and doing laundry and doing science and, you know, all the things like that.
Wow.
Throwing up.
Oh
Yeah, because
my,
Candy
yeah.
got seasick, as I think everyone did, didn't they? It looked like
Yeah, we were quite ill.
I got seasick just thinking of it.
But so they sail and they do something for plastics, which is like surface sampling and deeper water sampling, and also sampling in the air. So like air samples, you have to climb up the rigging and put on like these big silver buckets, and they just collect stuff out of the air, and then you send it off for analysis.
So you're just picking up like microscopic debris in the air?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because plastics are everywhere.
Right.
Really?
And then you do, like you sample the surface of the sea, there's a thing called a manta trawl, which has like, it's got 2 big fins that come out, so it looks like a manta ray.
It's like a robot manta ray. It's really cool looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that samples a slice of the ocean that's like a letterbox. Do you call that a letterbox? Thing in your front door that letters come through?
You could. I think they call it like a mail slot.
Okay, mail slot, right.
But no, I like yours better.
Right, so it's about like that big, and you chuck it in for 30 minutes. You're sampling that big a piece of the top of the sea, and you'll get like quite big things cramming into it, like plastic cups and stuff. And then you put it through a bunch of sieves, and so you've got like bits of plastic, smaller bits of plastic, smaller bits of plastic, and then the water also goes off for analysis for nanoplastics, which are too small and you can't see them.
Right. So those you have to ship off the ship to get them analyzed? Is there any way to look? I guess you'd have to get... I don't know how small they get.
Yeah, very, very, very tiny. So we had like quite a bunch of equipment on the boat. So we've got like microscopes and stuff. And there was this amazing thing that looks at stuff and tells you what kind of plastic it is. But sometimes it's wrong, and it just comes up and says, like, it's got all sorts of different things in it. So it'll say, like, cow brain and stuff. I'm like, what is that
It's a
programmed
banana.
into it?
That is banana. Right.
Yeah.
But it's an AI? It's an AI thing that's...
Yeah. It shines stuff at it and says, yeah, that's what this is. But
Candy's like, it shines a magic beam at it.
Yeah, magic beam, exactly. And So yeah, and then there's a deep sampling as well. So like obviously, if you chuck a bucket in the sea, when you pull it up, you're getting more water as you come up. So it's not the water from the bottom.
Oh, right, of course.
So you have a thing called a Niskin bowl, which is like a thermos flask, and you chuck it in, and then when it reaches a certain depth, you throw a weight down a string at it, and the weight will close it, so that then it comes up and it's got the water from the bottom. And the thing that you drop is called a golden snitch. We call it a golden snitch.
Mm-hmm. I know this.
And when these things don't ever work, so you build up sort of all this stuff around them to try and make them work. You get like a cargo cult. And so then we were like whispering to the golden snitch.
Wait. Do the children know what a cargo cult is? Because that's amazing all by itself.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, no.
What's a cargo?
Go ahead, Candy. Unless you'd like me to tell them, but you go ahead.
A cargo cope?
Cult.
A cargo cult.
C-U-L-T.
Oh my God, you don't know what a cargo cult? Oh, it's so good. Cargo cults are amazing. It's from when British people call a cargo cult. Like
a cargo cult.
What?
Yeah.
What did you say? Sorry.
It's a. It's,
the word will become clear through the description. Right. So it's like when Britain colonized
I'm going to
everywhere,
quickly.
killed
Sorry
everyone.
if you hear me talking.
we
Like,
can hear you talking.
That's fine.
Oh,
Should I be talking over you or not?
No, I thought I was muted because I'm talking to my old friends on Fortnite. They finally logged on, and I'm finally able to get into a game with them.
All right. Well, then, yes. Then you should definitely mute because we can hear you. There you go. Perfect. Now you're muted, buddy. Thank you.
A cargo cult. We've fallen down a rabbit hole already.
Is it like a group of people that like cargo or something?
Sort of.
I know.
So when we colonized everywhere and killed all of the locals and what have you.
Yeah.
And so we would receive stuff from the motherland by boat. So we would go down to the docks and, be wearing like a suit and look at our watch and do things that we might do while we were waiting for the cargo, and then the cargo would come.
Yeah.
Then when the colonists left, the people who still lived there formed a cargo cult where they believed that doing these actions caused the cargo to come.
Oh.
So they would go and stand at the docks and walk up and down tapping their watches.
I've heard of this.
Then a crate full of hot pants would turn up.
Right. Interesting.
Okay, now we've got a diversion because my understanding, and I'm totally susceptible to being wrong. It's a thing I do. It's during World War II, out in the Pacific, they were dropping supplies to different Navy excursions, and they were hitting islands that had never seen outside people. And they were getting, canned food and all kinds of things that they couldn't possibly make themselves or explain according to their world.
Right.
So they thought they
how
were
these things dropped out of the sky.
Right. So they were getting gifts from the gods and developed a religion around it. So, and that's fine. It probably has developed several different explanations, but that was mine, that we were actually, there were indigenous indigenous cultures that were getting these things and then saying, okay, maybe that day we danced, so let's dance.
Right.
See if another one comes down.
Trying to find the connection between what they were doing and what was happening.
It's the correlation-causality thing.
Yeah.
There was a correlation, so they thought it was causality. The pigs do it. The pigs have a cargo religion. Whatever I'm doing at the time when then immediately afterwards I feed them, the next time I do that thing, they start squealing because they think that thing makes the food come.
So it's like when I do the Bicky game with Huzzah in the morning and I sing the song from the Crying game, only I do it with the Bicky game. Then that's why she gets so excited, because she's basically, I'm a god to her. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Got it. I love this story already. All right, so
when I put the pigs to bed, I sing them the sound of piglets.
Oh, nice.
Hello, piglets, my old friends.
Nice. I say, what do I say? First there is breakfast, then go outside, find all the bickies, before they can hide. And then that's basically how I do mine.
Oh, biscuits. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, sorry, Bickies. It's a very British thing. Candy didn't even bat an eyelid, but of course, to our North American friends, I'm speaking another language. Yeah. I got it from my mom. My mom used to do it with our old dog, so that was, yeah. All right, sorry, we have completely gone off topic. Thank you, Lance, for keeping us so straight and narrow on this.
Well, I knew cargo cult is actually extremely fascinating.
It's pretty cool.
The biscuit thing,
yeah,
not so much. But
yeah. All right, so Candy's part was interesting. Thank you. All right, so Candy, sorry, let me step back for 1 second. How did you find out about this boat? Did you seek it out, or was this?
How did I find about it? Just from like people I knew, from like an art gallery. I know someone who works at like who runs an ecological art gallery, and they were involved in the Atlantic crossing, and I just sort of, I don't know, these things just sort of, I don't know if they gravitate towards me or I gravitate towards them, but
right.
you know.
And is this a volunteer thing? You have to volunteer a certain amount of time or get accepted, or?
There's there's like an interview process. They had so the one I went on most recently, which was Panama to Galapagos. I think they had like 300 applicants for every place.
Did everyone get that for Panama to Galapagos? How about that for a trip?
Oh my! And I was wondering if this was specific. Is there a difference in pollution between the Atlantic and Pacific? Is there like one's better or worse? Or
well, there's so every tour that they've ever done on that boat, every sample they've ever done anywhere in the sea has had plastic in it. Every single one.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And so sometimes you're like 8 days out from land, and like the nearest human habitation is the space station. And you're still getting plastic in every single sample. And they've been up like in the Arctic. They've been everywhere, and it's everywhere. You do get, so you've got like 5 gyres, which are the places where it accumulates.
Right.
And you hear a lot of stuff about like Great Pacific Garbage Patch and stuff, but that's not actually completely true. Like there are places where you do get a big conflation of like big things, but mostly it's microplastics.
Yeah.
And you get more microplastics in the gyres than you do elsewhere. So it does depend on like ocean currents.
Right.
But that's really all it depends on. It's not to do with like where people are and where they throw stuff in the sea, because then it ends up everywhere. So it's carried through the whole ocean.
So it's far beyond the direct local impact. It's being moved around. Yeah. And the other thing that I found extraordinary, there was a documentary that you included in a bunch of links, which if you're okay with, I'll share that after with some show notes. That was talking about how we've been shipping plastic out there. Like we've been shipping plastic to places that don't make this much garbage.
Oh yeah. I mean, very recently, China has said that they don't want our crap anymore.
Why were they taking it originally, though?
We paid them.
We paid them just to bury it, basically? Is that?
Well, allegedly they were recycling it. But it's a thing, though. You know, we send stuff to other places that don't want them, but we like to pretend that they do. So, like Emily Penn, who was in that documentary, who was one of the founders of X Expedition, where she started out, she was in Tonga. And they had an initiative, I can't remember now if it's the US or the UK, but somebody was sending Tonga all of their computers, like all the old tech that they didn't want. They were like, oh, we'll send them there because they've got no computers, so they'll want them.
Right.
They didn't want them. They didn't have anything that they could do with them, and they were just piled up everywhere, and they were burning them.
And, of course, there's a lot of toxic stuff, especially in the older computers.
They've got no infrastructure to deal with it. They don't want them. They don't know what to do with them. And in the end, Emily did arrange for, like, a ship to come over and take them away again.
Really?
But,
think about the pollution just involved in that process.
Yeah. But, it's a way, isn't it? There's no such place as a way. We like to put things out of sight, out of mind. Or that's gone. We don't need to worry about that anymore. And so things like when I was in the Caribbean, because it's a much smaller like island state, well, more than one. But like when you're on an island, you can see where everything is and where everything goes. Whereas, probably the majority of people in like the UK or the US or whatever have never been to like a landfill site.
I used to love it because it's just so much fun finding cool old things, but that's just me.
But yeah, it's so, you're very removed from it, so you don't really realize. And then, if you do go to sea, and when you're at sea and you just see all these things floating past over and over again, every 5 minutes, here's a plastic bottle, here's a styrofoam burger container, here's a plastic shoe. They're just, and you're in the middle of nowhere. And you start to realize that maybe it's a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
See, okay, I always thought, okay, couldn't alien land somewhere on Earth and not know there were Earth? But I don't think that's possible now. If they were just here for a moment, like with the rover, like we are on Mars. And then, Candy, I kind of had a question. Isn't there a name for it? The cost of doing business that's kind of outside when they, for instance, ship that garbage to a different place. So it's out of sight, out of mind. Externalities, maybe? Externalities. That's what it's called.
Externalities.
Correct. It's when businesses, they'll have extra costs that they could be paying for, say dumping waste, but they don't. They just dump them, and then that's not a cost to them. So that's actually profit.
Right. So
yeah.
Well, and Candy, you were saying the other day that these companies are basically, they've been promising to change this for ages, and they're just not. There effectively is almost no such thing as recycling. I mean, there is, but there's not, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a lie. It's so don't. I don't want your takeaway to be, don't recycle. You may as well recycle as not recycle.
Yeah,
and
Baz,
things
like you forgot to put that pizza box in the garbage before you left.
You can't recycle a pizza box that's got grease in it.
What? Exactly, Baz. Like I told
That's
you, why are you
I
wasting
don't
your time with
recycle
that?
it. I told you that.
Candy, you're not helping my parenting.
Sorry.
You can't really.
She is.
I mean,
if it's greasy, it can just ruin the whole batch. How are they going to get that grease out?
Because I clean the box even before I put it in.
Yeah, but the grease is inside the cardboard. You can't clean the grease off a pizza box.
I just assumed that they mashed it all up and that they could sort of squish it out or something. Is this what they call wish cycling?
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Wait, what's that?
John Oliver invented a term called wish cycling, or somebody did, where basically people just like, oh, I really hope this umbrella is the one they used. I really hope that this umbrella is recyclable, so I'll put it in there. I'll put it in there and see.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
We've got. Oh, wait a second, Jeff. Let me just change something. Full screen. So Jeffrey, I'm going to cover up your middle name. Can you change your name on the on your Zoom
Jefferson?
thing, Jeffrey, or Jeff, as the term would be? I'm covering up the middle of your name with my my wavy hand. But if you can rename your name, that'd be great.
I can see it.
But you're because you're not. Oh, no, I can't. Don't. Okay.
Oh, biscuit.
Well,
okay, yeah.
Never mind. All right, very good. You know what? I'm sure there are others. No worries, Jeff. We'll keep going anyways. All right. So sorry. So the recycling thing is, you're saying we should still recycle because some of it's getting recycled?
Ishy. It's right, so like recycling cans and glass and cardboard, but not pizza boxes, is acceptable. Recycling plastic is really sort of a nonsense, and what you really need to do is stop using it in the first place.
Right.
Like say the bath was overflowing. If your bath was overflowing, what is the first thing you would do if you'd left the tap running?
I would yell at Baz, probably.
I would not do anything and blame my dad.
I would turn it off, I guess.
This is going well.
David.
Right, turn off the tap is what you are looking for here.
Right.
Because it's no good us trying to do all of this recycling and everything else while we're still just pouring this stuff into the ocean.
Of course. No, that does. Of course.
You need to stop it at the source.
Yeah. Let me stop for 1 second just to say hi to Noodles, because Noodles is here. How are you, Noodles?
Noodles, chips, everybody.
Noodles is muted, just so she knows that she is in fact Noodles. So Noodles, we're talking to Candy Medusa about plastics in the ocean.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Hey,
There. I thought I unmuted myself. I'm very smart.
Noodles.
Right. I'm so glad you could share that with us, Noodles. All right. So Candy, so the bath is overflowing with plastic. We need to stop the flow of plastic. So we should just stop using plastics.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought for a second I was like, Dad, I think you're messing up water with plastic.
Apparently not.
It's an analogy.
Sorry.
A metaphor.
Okay.
Although there is plastic in our water as well, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. But, like, right, if you've got plastic, right, okay, so say you've got a bunch of plastic and you want to recycle it, right, you would melt it, right? Actually, what you were saying earlier about 3D printers, which I know nothing about,
right?
But you were saying that you want to take something that went wrong and melt it down and use it for something else, right? But you said that you would then use it for some crappier thing, right? Now, why is that? Why would you use it for something crappier?
Because I'm an evil person? No, just like for something that doesn't rely...
It is true. You are evil. That is true.
Thanks, Doodles. I'm so glad you could join us to add that. But I guess my point would be like for something that doesn't require a pristine look to it, that I could still use.
It's not going to be as good, right? The second time around,
absolutely not.
It's not as good.
Right.
And that's plastic. It's
a lot of work too, because I'd have to melt down that old plastic and then create. Yeah.
So it's downcycled. So every time that you melt it and do something with it, it's not as good a quality as it was the time before.
Right.
And you can only do that like 2 or 3 times.
Right.
And you have to add in virgin materials to still be able to use it.
Virgin materials being stuff like that's being created specifically from scratch again. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And then
I thought it was things I owned. Go ahead.
Only like 9% of plastic has ever been recycled.
9%.
Oh my. Oh my.
Wow.
And like as well, if you get like a bunch of different plastics, so if they've all got different melting points, which they do, then you can't process them together because they're going to melt at different temperatures.
Right.
But if they have the same melting point and you try to process them together, they won't form into a cohesive thing. You get this, it's phase something or other. And they do like layering and it makes a plastic that's very weak.
Right.
It's no good for anything. So everything has to be separated out, which is obviously, expensive and time consuming. But a lot of things are made out of more than one plastic. They're mixed materials.
Yeah, of course. Like running shoes, perfect example.
So like if you had a microwave meal, right? Yeah. Okay, so visualize your microwave meal. Sorry, there's a dog on me. Visualize your microwave meal. You're pulling the film off the top. Right. What happens when you try to pull the film off?
Right. It never ever peels off properly.
There's a lot of steam.
There is a lot of steam, but before that, you're peeling it off and you've got one layer in your hand and it's still on the thing, right?
Yeah.
And that's because it's made of 6 different kinds of plastic. It's laminar. It's all different plastics. So you can't recycle it because they can't be separated.
Why does
that? What those numbers are? I'm sorry, guys. I've seen this before, like the recycling symbol. Then there's a 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know how many different numbers there are.
Which sounds
is
like
that what
scam.
That means? Oh, is it?
Yeah. So you've got the different numbers. They're all different kinds of plastic. I think it's only 1 and 2 that are normally recycled.
1 and 2 you can recycle, and even that's only 8% again, right?
Yeah.
Oh my.
But also, okay, see, let's have a look at your critical thinking skills. Okay, what is wrong with this sentence? Recyclable where facilities exist.
Right. It's the whole where part, if you can.
So yeah, if you look at the back of something and it's got the whirling arrows on, it will quite often say recyclable where facilities exist, which is basically the same as saying we'll send you to the moon where facilities exist.
Right.
It's meaningless.
Right.
It's completely meaningless.
Right.
So although it is recyclable as a concept, it can't be done in any practical way.
And even the ones that can be recycled, only 9% of that's getting recycled anyways.
Yeah.
So this is marketing. Oh my gosh.
By the sound of it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because it's so when. What should we have a history lesson?
Oh, please do. I say.
David actually lived through it, so that's cool.
It's true.
Oh.
It's true. We're old enough to have lived through it.
Yeah.
We're gonna start in 1907.
Oh.
So not quite.
I remember that.
Lance goes back that far, but yeah.
Yeah, true story.
Right. So 1907 was the first synthetic plastic, which was Bakelite, which I like a bit of Bakelite. Bakelite's lovely. But anyway, so then like coming up to post First World War, they invented loads and loads of different plastics. Everything's great. Right. Second World War, nobody's got anything. People are used to make do amend. They're used to not having stuff.
Right.
And so then when we came out of the Second World War, the bunch of white men who want to own 50% of the world's wealth were like, right, well, we need to convince people to buy stuff again because they are used to not buying things.
Right.
And we need to kill the planet so we can make money. So how are we going to do that?
Right.
And so in like the 40s, late 40s, 50s, they invented like a disposable society. And so capitalism became like it's consumerism, and they made a disposable society aspirational. And they're like, no, look at this. This is great. You use this once and you throw it away. That's the future. That's what we must do.
So
and everyone was like,
easy.
oh, yeah, that is what we must do. This was the same time that they invented women shaving their legs as well.
Oh.
It was, and fish fingers and stuff. People were used to not eating meat because they didn't have meat during the war. And so then people were sort of repulsed by seeing a dead animal. Because they were not used to that, so they had to have like processed meat instead. That was when they started having like fish fingers and chicken nuggets and stuff like that to try and sanitize it for people.
To make things more palatable for people to...
Yeah. So
plus
this
you
is
can
when...
use scraps, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it's true.
you
Cheaper material, too. Yeah, it's true. They can make more money off it. Yeah.
You can
Honestly,
just throw chicken in a blender and make a nugget.
Noodles, you
Gonna
got
be
something?
I was going to say, going to be honest, I don't know how much of McDonald's chicken nuggets are actually chicken.
It's true.
But I mean...
Yeah, I'm with you.
Well, eventually
Yeah.
they won't be any.
It's
Eventually.
beaks and feet.
I'm sure at this point there's not any in it.
Beaks.
What was that, Candy?
Beaks and feet. It
Right.
is chicken.
Right.
Just
It's like
bad
sausages,
chicken.
the same thing. They just shove everything they
Yeah.
can. Yeah, right.
Yeah, in it goes. So anyway, so then everyone's like, oh yeah, disposable, marvelous, amazing. And then I think it was like the 60s that they first found microplastics in the guts of seabirds.
Right.
Really?
And nobody took any notice. And they hushed it up. And because obviously plastic comes from oil, so you've got this oil industry backing who are very famously good at hushing things up.
Well, you know what's neat about that is I've noticed that when plastic first came out, it was all about the oil and gas industry had created this amazing new thing for people. And now you almost never hear the connection unless it's in an environmental set way.
Yeah. Yeah. So like it takes a liter of oil to make a liter of plastic, to make a kilo of plastic. So then come like 60s, 70s, people started saying, hold on, this is not great. So that was when the plastics industry invented recycling. And they knew that it was never going to work. They knew there was no practical application for recycling. They knew that it couldn't be done. But by saying that, it takes the onus off of manufacturers and puts it onto the consumer. Now it's our job to do something about plastic pollution instead of theirs. And it makes you feel better. And it makes you think, all right, okay, I can use plastic because it's recyclable, even though it isn't. So, like, if you ask anyone, if you ask someone in the street, if you do a survey, pigs are grunting. Oh, God.
Did you step on a pig?
It was a small fight broke out. Yeah, if you ask someone in the street, what do you do for the environment? What personally do you do for the environment? The first thing that almost everyone will say is, I recycle.
Right.
So not only is it a fallacy, but it's also stopping people from doing other things because they're like, right, I've done that. I've done my bit.
Yeah, I've been cleaning pizza boxes.
Anything else. Yeah.
He's been licking them clean for years.
It says it says on them that they're recyclable, so I just assumed that I would clean them off and...
Yep.
I didn't even used to clean them off because it didn't say anything about that. But then I heard that you could contaminate stuff, and I thought, oh, I'll get rid of the worst.
Stop it.
But I could see what Candy's coming from. It kind of soothes that inner guilt, so you don't keep yourself from getting plastic because you're already taking these steps after the fact that you think are actually having an effect.
Well, yeah, it's like, oh no, I'll take a bag. It's fine because it's recyclable. It'll say like a big recycling. Oh yeah, if those bags are recyclable, I can take one of those. Now I just take the ones that are biodegradable, but I'm not sure what the deal on those is either.
That's not real either. Sorry.
Great. Candy, the voice of doom.
Sorry.
Debbie Downer.
So words like biodegradable and compostable are not controlled. They're not controlled words. So you can put them on anything.
Like organic.
And organic has more legislation.
Oh, it may be in England. I'm not sure that it's as much in North America, though.
I heard something like if you get like organic eggs here, they've got welfare restrictions on the eggs. The organic eggs the chickens have got better welfare than free range eggs.
I'd be curious to know if anyone in the chat in North America knows anything about the state of that. I'm not sure why I've gone off on topic but you know.
No, it's a thing.
I bet someone does.
Someone will. Just bring your own bag.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you for the raid.
Oh my God, Natalie's Winter. Thank you so much.
Natalie's Winter.
Yes, welcome to our talk about the not-so-fantastic plastic.
See the chat. I'm missing out.
Well, you can look at the chat too, Candy.
Do you have Twitch? If you can
I do, actually.
You've got pigs, dogs, but no Twitch?
I could be on two things.
And PG Wipeout, thank you for the subscription, by the way.
Hold on. Oh, God, yeah. I can see myself in there.
That's the fun part. That's all I look at is me.
Right. Hold on. Right, that's just showing me an ad for Aussie shampoo, actually.
Bass 1977 has raised something, which is an interesting one because I know how this is going to go, but I'm going to leave it. I'm setting this up for you, Candy. Where in the Netherlands we have companies that use waste plastics, melt them down, and press them to all kinds of shapes to make fence posts, park benches, and all kinds of useful stuff. And then
what? Okay. So like that is good. You're doing something with it. Okay, ostensibly it's a good thing, but it never goes away and it never stops breaking down. So like where you have things like you're making bottles into surfacing for roads or park benches or things that are outside
or playground surfaces, as Jonathan MLH points out. Yeah,
that's just going to leach back into the environment. So all of the toxics are coming back out of that. Microplastics are coming back out of that. It's going to break down and get back into the environment again. So, it's better than throwing it straight in the sea. But eventually it's ending up there anyway.
I mean, most things are better than just chucking it in the ocean. I gotta say.
But here's my...
People seem to think that it's just this infinite thing that you can just keep throwing things into. I mean, that's what they do with nuclear waste. They chuck it in the sea, box it up in a bit of concrete and throw it in there.
Yeah, the Russians used to just sink the vessels that they didn't want anymore that were nuclear
down they go.
Yeah. In fact, that's part of the problem. They now want to drill for oil in the Arctic, but because no one mapped where they were dropped, they're worried that they might hit them. No, literally.
Excellent.
Just hitting boats everywhere. I just imagine, George, we got another one.
Exactly. We just hit another nuke submarine.
Darn. Also, the problem with that is if there's still stuff on it too, hitting that just could, blow something up.
It's funny
Which
though,
usually
our attitude towards this doesn't seem to have changed because I even worry a little bit about with space exploration in that we've got so much junk already circling our planet that it's difficult to get off it. And then when we land on another planet, the first thing we do is just start ejecting chunks of the various things that have just landed there so that we can now roll around and explore and stuff. And I guess the assumption is like, look, it's a brand new planet. It's not like we're going to run out of space on this one for dumping stuff. But eventually we will.
Earth.
Exactly.
Sorry.
There you go.
Have you seen that wooden satellite? I can't remember who built it now. Someone's built a wooden satellite.
How does
it might have been Japan. I might be making that up. wood and cellulite, biodegradable, isn't it? I don't know quite how it... Well, it's inside a thing to start with, isn't it? It's the payload. It doesn't have to go...
Yeah, it's weird. It didn't work. We sort of sent it off, and then it burnt up. It was made of wood. My wooden rocket didn't make it. Yeah, no, I see what you mean.
Wait, but, like, also, how would it biodegrade? Like, could it even...
It won't. It's not going to biodegrade in space.
Oh,
yeah,
James Gurney.
But I thought it was just cute. It was
I think that is
sweet
cute.
thing.
Well, why not? If you're making things out of, like, it's not like any of those things are particularly sturdy in that they're sturdy, but they're not sort of designed for like re-entering orbit or re-entering the Earth's atmosphere or anything. Look, James Gurney's jumped in with the organic thing just quickly. Organic in the U.S. is basically meaningless. It means they haven't used artificial pesticides or fertilizers and no GMOs. You will see a bunch of stuff that is organic that can't be GMO. Also, they can use pesticides and fertilizers, just not safer ones. Natural pesticides have another name, poisons.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, no, that is true.
Okay, but back to
you,
plastics. Back to plastics.
Thank you, James Gurney.
But there are regulations on organic stuff. They may well be meaningless, but there are some.
Right.
But on like something that's compostable or biodegradable, it just means it can break down into pieces that are indistinguishable from dirt. It can just break down to little bits, but they can be bits of anything.
So they're biodegrading potentially into just microplastics.
Yeah.
Right.
And also things like compostable, again, it is compostable where facilities exist.
Right.
So a lot of it is industrial compost. So like you can take something that is, if you get something that's compostable, you can't put it in your curbside recycling because it will contaminate the plastics recycling.
Right.
But you also can't put it in your compost bin because it won't degrade in there because the temperatures aren't high enough.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to go for industrial composting, which a lot of places don't have. We haven't got it locally to me. So if you haven't got a plant for that, then it has to go to landfill because it can't be recycled.
Where it's just going to break down and leach into whatever is around.
Wait,
yeah.
So you're saying when I eat dirt, I could just be eating plastic too?
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like it.
Huh.
Especially in the city. I'm not sure how much dirt you eat, Noodles, but yeah, that's basically the idea. Well, and breathing as well, right? You're saying that you're taking air samples as well.
Yeah, no, it's in the air, it's in the water, it's in the tap water, it's in all of your food, it's in every food, it's in vegetables, it's in meat, it's in fish, it's in the soil, it's inside us, it crosses the placenta, and it's in fetuses.
So it gets
everywhere.
from the body of the mother into the body of the child. Wow.
Yep.
Do we know
That's
the
not
negative
microplastics,
impact
that's
of that?
nanoplastics, it's going to be small. We're basically like a living experiment. Because, it has only been prevalent since the 50s, so we don't really know. It's certainly, it's known, like a lot of the plastic stuff is known to be a carcinogen, and we are seeing a lot of rising cancer rates, which, again, correlation and causality. But also, it's endocrine disruptor, which is your endocrine disruptor.
Okay.
So it's your endocrine system, it's your hormones.
Right.
So for women's health, it's more. There's more documented stuff for women's health, but it affects your fertility, and certainly in teen boys now, they're seeing a lot of impotence, and I've seen a bunch of papers that are blaming it on pornography, like the availability of porn on the internet has somehow magically made boys impotent. Because, they're watching these more and more bizarre things, and so then they don't know how to be aroused in a real-life situation. But I would say that it's far more likely to be plastics in the tap water.
Like actual physical poisoning rather than mental...
Yeah.
What does impotent mean again?
Unable to take unable to take effective action, helpless or powerless.
Yes, but it generally means you're unable to have kids, basically.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have you seen, is it Children of Men? Is that what it's called? Where everyone gives birth up?
Such a great film.
That's a documentary. It's, that's what we're cruising towards.
Right. Yeah, the fear is that basically we're damaging the system so much that it's damaging us to such an extent that we're no longer able to have as many kids or as healthy kids as we used to.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, most species go extinct eventually, so...
We're certainly, well, we're helping it, certainly. I mean, there was someone who was saying, actually, I thought this was an interesting, they talk about why we haven't run into other civilizations yet. Like, why have we not run into alien civilizations if the universe is so big, there's so many planets that could...
I have a guess.
You got a guess? What do you got, Noodles?
You know how, like, there's colonies on Earth that don't know about the rest of the world, basically?
Still?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like some really small islands.
Huh.
I think that's what we're like. Like, every galaxy, all the galaxies and planets, other planets, they know we're here.
Mm.
They just don't bother us because they know it'd be too big for us.
Because those losers haven't figured out plastic yet.
We haven't figured out space travel yet, really. I mean, we have, but we don't know how to teleport yet, so they're not going to contact us.
Ha.
Now,
let's
isn't
be
that
real.
called Burmese Paradox, David?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
And one of the possible solutions to Fermi's paradox, which is basically says that, hey, if there's so many aliens out there, why haven't we seen them? They're saying that potentially there are what did he call them? Were there filters, the great filters, or I can't remember what the term was, but basically there are things that each civilization will hit, and if they can't overcome them, then they die, and that pollution could very well be that problem. Where we consume too much, we create too much waste, we are unable to deal with that waste, and then the civilization collapses. So it never gets to the point where it can actually go out and explore, the universe the way it should.
Oh, I could see that. Civilization continually collapses, goes back to some ancient technology and re-ups.
Right.
Didn't Einstein say, I don't know what weapons we'll fight World War III with, but I know World War IV will be fought with sticks and rocks.
Right.
Something like
exactly.
That.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Candy, did you go on this trip originally to find, to become a part of, to be a part of this, or did you do it because you wanted to take the trip, or did you do it because you already knew about this plastic situation, or?
I already knew about it, but you learn more about it when you're out there experiencing it.
Right.
And then they do outreach as well. So you'll stop at different places and go and speak to people about it and stuff.
Right.
Which, excuse me, which in the Caribbean, it's so much easier to speak to people who are in charge. It's not like asking to speak to the president. You can go and speak to the person who is in charge. We went and had tea at somebody's house. That's a thing. And so that was, I think it was 6 years ago I was in the Caribbean. And then since then, the majority of the Caribbean islands have banned single-use plastic, import altogether. You can't import it. So it's not coming into the islands in the first place, which is something that they can do because they're small.
Right.
So they can just say, right, we're not doing this anymore.
Right.
Now, okay, see, and that they don't have the resources we do, and they can do it. So, yeah. I mean, we could have workarounds easily. This is amazing.
Yeah, of course. Of course, but it's just capitalism.
It's capitalism. Oh, my gosh. I'm sorry, kids. I don't think capitalism works.
I think it's unfettered capitalism is the issue, right? It's capitalism without...
Yep.
So basically, from what I'm getting from this, then, the plastics, while we can obviously continue to do our recycling as much as we can, this should really be handled by the companies that are making them.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
Yeah. Absolutely. And the only way to force that issue is by putting your money where your mouth is.
Right.
So, if you don't buy bottled water, you don't buy drinks in plastic bottles, then they will do something about that, and they will change it to glass or, whatever. They will change their practices as soon as they stop making a profit. Small child.
I kind of feel that way. I'm sorry.
No, go
I'll
ahead.
just go on while she's talking.
Yeah.
Okay. An individual does have so little impact. I mean, it would take a massive movement. Whereas if we could, as you said, put a feather on the company, kind of close them down to say you can't do this and just do that from the source. I know the idea of what's that called when you boycott? Boycotts have worked, but I'm just not sure that's a lot of responsibility for a guy out in the middle of nowhere just barely making it. So he gets plastic cups rather than glass cups, or I don't know. I'd rather go to the source.
But I mean, how hard would it be to just say to Coca-Cola, no more no more plastic bottles. Let's just do glass bottles.
Well, the reason they're probably doing plastic bottles in the first place is because it's most likely cheaper. They're just telling Coca-Cola, hey, stop making plastic bottles.
Also, it's cheaper for the business.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
They're not just going to be like, oh, we see your complaint, and we have decided instead of destroying the planet, we will abide to whatever you want. No, if they won't do that. You actually have to find a way for them to change, like if you just didn't buy Coca-Cola.
But like aluminum or aluminium, depending on how you say it, and like that's okay because we can recycle that basically, right?
Yeah.
But,
thank you. Bite another raid.
Bite me, I'm Klingon. 69. Great name. But thank you for the raid of 1. Why do I feel like we've just been conned? Okay, so you are not using plastics any more than you absolutely have to at this point, Candy? I mean, do you, like, how do you...
I mean, right, it's not... So the idea of plastic-free is using less plastic. You can't... It's impossible to be plastic-free. It's so difficult. And as well, you get... people need plastic. There are people who need, like, say a single-use plastic straw. The majority of people do not need that, but some people do. So, if you do need these things, then you need these things. And if you've got, like, kids and you want them to have a normal human experience where they can speak to their friends at school and say, all right, yeah, no, I know what that is. I've done that. To some extent, you do have to rely on plastics, and particularly like with COVID, now I'm getting my supermarket shopping delivered.
Yeah.
Whereas before I was going and buying it. So like if you go to the supermarket, you can choose like loose produce rather than stuff that's in a plastic bag.
Now you get
but
bags.
When you order it online, they bring it in a bag.
And it has to be because you can't have people breathing on them, and yeah, exactly.
Oh, my mom would never let anyone do her shopping for her. Even when she was pregnant, I think she went because she got someone to do it once for her, and she's like, they got the wrong bread, they got the wrong everything, nothing was right.
Ibrek, thank you for your fabulous raid, or I should say, merci beaucoup pour le raid fantastique.
Okay.
We're talking about plastic. We're talking about plastic and the problems of plastic right now with the Tech Bandits. So welcome. Okay, so what kind of stuff? I'm just trying to think of so we have some plastics that we use over and over and over again. Are they okay?
Right. So it's single use is your main sort of bad thing.
The biggest issue.
So in the US, 30% of plastic goes to packaging.
Right.
30% of the plastic that you use is packaging. And that's higher in some other countries. I think in India it's like 40% is packaging.
Right.
So it's to do with like how much you're importing and stuff. So, you've got this huge amount of plastic going into packaging, going into styrofoam cups, going into just all these things that you don't actually need. So there are a lot of swaps that you can make at home for stuff that aren't, it's not going to change the world particularly, but the more that you do, the more then corporations will change to try and get your money some more.
Like one thing I've heard is like rain's made up of single drops, but then it can cause like floods and stuff, right? So if everyone does it,
right? How do you get everyone to do this though? I feel like we've almost got to go beyond that now and get into a situation where we're saying like you've got to do this.
Well, look at COVID. Sort of. This is sort of. If the one problem I think Canada has had is that they haven't said wear a mask. You've got to sort of do this. They've been a bit more like please wear a mask, and that's a bit of and then people aren't wearing masks because it's not mandatory, right?
Well, and also, I mean, having worked on set during COVID now, everything's covered in plastic. It's all single-use knives and forks and spoons and cups and bottles, and everything is sealed in plastic now. Because
you know what I hate so much? When like there's plastic, it's like single-use plastic sealed in plastic. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. Like some of those surprise toy things. Like I bought one once. I'm like, There's so much plastic in this stuff. What the heck?
Yeah.
Also, it's just gambling for children, but that's a different...
That's the fun part. You mean, I guess now's not the time to open my Lego figure, I guess, huh?
No. You have it already. I mean, might as well.
Okay, that's an investment. That's an investment.
Yeah, this is an investment.
Hold on. I bought a box of props. I've got something, actually. This came out of the sea.
That came out of the sea?
Yeah.
No way. Somebody threw that away?
Yeah, I was about to say, someone threw away a Lego figure?
If anyone is missing a yellow Lego figure, could they please contact Candy Medusa? Right.
That is a crime worse than throwing away plastic. Throwing away a Lego figure. Come on, guys.
But again, a Lego... Well, no, I guess it is just collectible plastic, isn't it? Oh, man.
But the thing with Lego is, don't throw your Lego away. Just give it to someone else. That's a good thing about Lego.
But it seems to me...
It was floating? I mean, like, how long could that Lego survive in the ocean?
It's not a live land.
It never goes anywhere. It just breaks down into tinier poisonous pieces.
Right.
It doesn't go away. But Lego are all right. Lego are researching like a lot of alternatives. They are trying to find more ecological alternatives.
Well, and Lego, they've also changed their materials. They don't have as much Lego in their Lego figures now than they used to. In fact, Jane was saying that they feel cheap, and I was like, then that's probably better for the environment, or worse.
Yeah.
And
they had a partnership with Shell. They were promoting, like, when you sold up your car, you got little Lego figures, and there was a campaign by Greenpeace, and they did a really good video, which like everything is awesome, and it had a little like Lego landscape that just filled up with oil, and so then they disassociated with Shell. They're not dealing with them anymore.
I would have thought that perhaps an association with Shell might have been a bad idea in the first place, but you know.
Yeah.
But I guess it is an oil product
They're making an effort, and it's not single use. You know, you keep it forever.
So oh
my God. And if you don't, listen, here's the thing with Lego. If you don't need it anymore, give it to someone else, because that's the best thing to do with your Lego. Also, someone else is bound to enjoy it.
Me.
I think, yes. Everyone, we're going to start like a GoFundMe, but except just Lego. Just give your Lego to
Lego.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But okay, so I think you're right. It's something that's being used over and over again to some extent, or at least it is an ornamental thing as opposed to something that is not being like used for 3 seconds like those
stupid
bubble tea things.
Or even I want to say the give me a second. Those like LOL surprise dolls. The dolls are made of plastic. The packaging is plastic.
It's wrapped in like 6 layers of plastic.
It's like, why do you need so many? I bought one once.
Because of unboxing. They're the product of unboxing videos. That's why they look like that. Because kids watch unboxing videos, so they want something that they can unbox 7 layers of.
Why do I feel like I'm so much a part of the problem right now?
What you were saying about making people do it. So this is like the thing with airbags, because people won't wear their seatbelts.
Right.
Also, I just want to say another thing is like, kids now, they watch unboxing videos. Why do they watch this? Why can't they watch Wild Kratts and educational stuff like Wild Kratts and finding stuff out and all the good TV shows? So now I'm sad.
Thank you, Noodles. Sorry, carry on, Candy.
She's getting old.
Right, yeah. So hold on. Let me find in my box of props.
Just so everyone knows, Candy Medusa has been roaming her house looking for props for this very purpose.
I just wandered around my house collecting all the plastic-free stuff.
Yeah.
Right, I have here cotton buds, which I believe your people call Q-tips.
Right.
So we had a big campaign here by some people called CC2C, which is run by Natalie Fee, who was one of the X-Expedition girls.
Right.
And it was called Switch the Stick, because these had plastic sticks on. So this one's bamboo.
Oh, it's bamboo.
But you can also get them like cardboard and paper.
They used to be
wood.
Back in David's
day, they
used to be paper,
And so then when they were plastic, and everyone keeps throwing them down the toilet, so there's loads and loads and loads of them in the sea.
Right.
And what we tried to do was like an educational campaign to stop people from throwing them down the toilet, but they wouldn't. So instead, Natalie went to like the supermarkets and the major manufacturers and said, "Can you stop doing this?" And they have. And so now they're not plastic.
So if you can make it financially make sense for these companies to make the change, because you say, we're not going to buy your Q-tips unless they're bamboo Q-tips.
Yeah.
I've started buying, and I never thought I'd be this person, I started buying bamboo toothbrushes because I heard that toothbrushes were a huge problem.
Yep.
Yeah. Although I'm not sure if, I'm not sure what my fabulous dental friends will think about the toothbrushes, whether they're as good as the other ones. But anyways, yes. But the plastic, I just felt like that is probably something that's got to be. They're finding toothbrushes all over the place now.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's like a bunch of things that you always find. Like anytime you do a beach clean, you'll find toothbrush, lighters, Q-tips,
right,
gardening gloves for some reason. There'll always be a gardening glove, balloons, plastic bags, water bottles. It's just always the same stuff. Straws.
Those, they've got those, and those styrofoam boxes. They're saying the styrofoam food boxes. They were, there's huge amounts of those I was seeing in the video. I couldn't get over the number of them. And that's just the visible stuff that we're seeing. You're saying that there's a whole undercurrent of tiny plastic things.
Yeah,
so,
and it's all the way down the water column as well. So it's from the top right down to the bottom.
So when you were doing the golden snitch stuff at the bottom of the ocean, you were finding a similar amount, more or less? Really?
Yeah. It's just straight through the water column.
I wonder what it's like in the Great Lakes. I'm assuming it's got to be terrible in the Great Lakes.
I know someone who studies that, who was in the video, Jennifer Pate. She does Great Lakes.
Okay.
Although I do not actually know any of the data. But I'm assuming if she's studying it, there's plastics in there.
We've got Great Lakes, and I guarantee you there's plastics in them because they only recently came back to life again. I mean, they only recently started seeing fish again in Lake Ontario, so I'm assuming that that's part of the problem. So, so no plastic bags, no plastic bottles.
But shall I show you? Do you want to see?
Yeah.
Do you want to see my box of things?
Okay. She's been dying to do this box of things. All right, sorry.
I've got so many things.
Yeah.
I've got so many things. I've got, right. This is the winning thing, okay? Like a face cloth.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you can get those plastic wipes now to wash your face with.
Yes.
Which is like a recent invention, but now everybody does it. It's become completely ubiquitous, like baby wipes on your face.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Wait,
and then people flushing down the toilet.
They're made from plastic. On set, it's done because, again, they can just throw it away. It's a time-saving thing.
I'll let you off.
No, don't let us off. I don't think you should let us off. Why not just hand me a towel? I mean, a warm towel, and I can wipe it off. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, so that is it. Use a cloth.
Okay.
This is,
a flannel, as we used to call it.
For flannel. I was going to say flannel. I was like, they won't know what flannel is.
Like face washing.
So face cloth. Got it.
Yeah. Oh, we have one of those. We have a towel that we use.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I got sponge as well. Sponge.
Oh yeah. Right. Okay.
Not for vegans because that is alive, but it's like a colony of unicellular organisms, so it's almost a plant. And also loofah.
Oh, loofahs.
Which people think come from the sea. Like if you Google now a picture of a loofah, I guarantee the picture will be a loofah with like some shells and a sponge.
Right.
Because for some reason in stock photos they're represented as a sea creature.
Right.
But it isn't. It's a plant. It's like the fibrous inside of like a gourd. You can grow them.
Really?
You can grow your own loofahs.
It's like a loofah. It's like for scrubbing feet
don't use harsh, but guys, don't use harsh loofahs because apparently most dermatologists don't recommend them. So.
Yes.
Oh.
That is true.
Hey Jefferson, I don't know if you mean to share your screen, but there's some screen sharing going on, just in case you're worried.
I think that's his
Can
profile.
hide the. Can I hide the?
It's his profile. It
is.
It's a meme about Levi.
Oh, I see. Okay, sorry. I thought he was actually trying to search something. Okay.
We're too old to know what that is.
All right, so loofahs.
Right, yeah. I got one of these as well. So that's like a face cleaning thing as well that you can use instead of cotton wool.
Oh, you mean like the scrubby for getting... So after I've had my prosthetic makeup and I can't get it off, I can scrub it off with that. Okay, great. Okay.
And then you
that's smart.
chuck it in the machine.
Actually, that's really useful because those makeup wipes are sort of useless.
Hey, wait a second. What about the machine? Our machine, we put pods. We use pods. Is that plastic?
Yeah, that's plastic.
Just use we use powder
I've got another box with laundry things in it.
We use powder. Just use powder soap. We use powder soap.
It gets all clumpy.
Actually, soap. So you can get soap powder in a box. So it's in a cardboard box.
Right.
So it's not plastic. But when you're washing your clothes that are made of plastic because they're synthetic, using powder rather than liquid is more abrasive, so it will make more microfibers come off and go into the drain. So it will generate more plastic from your clothes.
Right. The only problem is our washing machine only works with powder soap because it's ancient. So,
yeah, I blocked up a washing machine once with soap flakes and flooded the downstairs, which was a shop. I was in a flat above a shop. And I flooded them with my washing machine with a soap flake.
You artists.
But did you say, I'm trying to save the world?
Well, yeah, obviously. It's fine. They were fine. But yeah, I've got soap nuts. Everybody loves
the soap nuts thing. This is
let me show you a soap nut. Hold on, which I have in a mason jar. This is how much of a hippie I am.
Oh, wow. So she's not even using plastic to hold the non-plastic things.
I've got one on the floor. I don't know if they're poisonous to animals.
I'm not sure if you want a pig eating a soap nut, do you?
All right, so this thing, it's related to a lychee.
Right.
Can you eat it?
So it grows on trees. I don't know if you can eat it. I don't want to eat it. Let's not eat it.
It looks like a little brain.
Okay. I've dropped it again.
It does
right?
look like a brain.
So you get your brain, and you get your wee canvas bag, and you put like 6 brains in the bag, and then you chuck that in the machine. And so it doesn't matter what kind of machine you've got, if it's like top loading or drawer, whatever, you put it in with the clothes.
Right.
And they foam. They're like a soupy thing. And they foam, and you can wash clothes with them. And you can use them about like 6 times. And then when they're done, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, they're like an empty shell, which actually is compostable. So then you can put that in compost.
Oh, okay.
But they only grow where it's hot. So they've got miles on them.
Right.
Because they're being imported.
Can we grow them inside or something?
I don't know. I know you can. I don't know about soap nuts.
I'm growing my own mushrooms, so maybe there's a way to grow my own soap nuts.
Not quite the same. What with a mushroom not being
like in a dank, soggy basement, it's not going to work?
It's probably not going to work in a soggy basement.
Right.
I think they may require sunshine.
Right.
So yeah, there's those which mostly work. I only wear black. So
wait.
Baz only wears black.
It's actually like a thing that grows. It's not an art. Oh my gosh! It's like
an actual thing that grows on trees.
Huh.
That foams up when you put it in the washing machine.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What does it smell like?
Nothing really.
Oh, okay.
It hasn't got much of a smell.
Because Baz wears black all the time, so that's perfect for him.
Yeah. And if you need it to be like more stain killing, you can chuck some vinegar in with it. Speaking of smell.
No, God, I can't. The smell of vinegar, Jane would leave like that. There's no way.
You can put a tiny splash of vinegar in the wash and your clothes do not come out smelling like fish and chips.
Okay.
You can get away with a little bit of vinegar. But also I have got as well, hold on, what are you? Is that you? No, that's not you. That's you. So we were saying before about the milkman and that you don't have a milkman in your country.
Right. We have bags of milk that come in plastic bags.
Right.
We have plastic bags that come in a separate plastic bag.
We have a milkman who comes on an electric vehicle. He's got a milk float.
Yeah.
And he comes and he delivers stuff in glass bottles, and including milk. And then when you've used it, he takes the bottles away and refills them, and he does laundry liquid. So you can get laundry liquid in a milk bottle, and then when you've used it, he'll take it away and fill it back up.
Oh my God, see the milk. That's the first electric vehicle I ever saw. By the way, was a milk float in England.
Milk floats are great. Yeah. So he does that, and he does that's washing up liquid as well, and he does milk obviously, and like orange juice and all sorts of stuff. So that's really cool because you're not even recycling; it's reusing.
Right.
So they take them away and give them a hot wash.
That
fill them
is
back
really
up.
smart. Really smart. And do you pay for that service?
Well, he doesn't bring you free laundry liquid.
But didn't the milkman?
No, there's no delivery fee on it. I mean, there is. Obviously, it's incorporated into the cost of the milk.
Right, I see.
But there's an app, and you just go on the app, and you have to order, I think, by 9 o'clock the night before.
Right.
You just say, this is what you want, and then he rocks up at 5 a.m. and leaves stuff on your doorstep.
Right. But no, I guess I was saying, when you give the bottle back, he just takes it. It's not a cost associated with, but that's just, you say, built into the cost.
It's not deposit return.
Right, okay, got it. Okay, all right. Yeah, glass bottles. David, I remember the glass bottles of milk. You used to get the cream off the top. I used to love the top part of the milk.
And the birds would have it.
Oh, sorry. My apologies. I have 2 science questions. First off, I didn't even know milkmen still existed because they were like fathering too many children in America. So,
do they exist in America anymore?
No, not maybe in cities. That's what I was wondering. I was going to ask Candy, like, did suburbia kill the milkman because it's just too much travel to
not
do
in
that?
England. England's like this big. It's tiny.
That's what I'm saying. Like, suburbia, America's built on suburban areas, right? And then I was going to ask David, why the hell would you put milk in a bag? What's happening there?
I don't know. It's like a Canadian thing. We put milk in bags.
I've seen that in France as well, milk in bags.
Yeah. We call it homo milk as well, which is something that no one else in the world calls it that.
Moly.
Yeah. Which is a homogenized milk. But for some reason and it comes in a bag. It's Canada. It's like we grew up with it, so it doesn't seem like weird at all. And then you leave and then you talk about it and people are like, you are freaking weird. Because nobody else does that.
I'm gonna go on Google. If there's no milk bags, I'm canceling you, David.
All right. I've been canceled.
Everyone else is weird, okay?
Maybe that's
We're the normal ones.
Yeah, but noodles, it comes in plastic bags. Why isn't that? Aren't those glass bottles? Right? I'm guessing does it last longer? I'd love to know what the reasons for this are. I guess there's less breakage. No, because those bags are leaking all the time.
No, bags are horrible. I mean, have you tried to hold like a bag of liquid? It's terrible.
It's awful. It's awful. And you can't cut them properly. And then I'm assuming every time you pour milk out, you're putting in bits of plastic into your...
Oh, yeah.
Right. All right, but
That's all right, because there's already plastic in it, because there was plastic in the cow.
Right. Great. So, do you have any more of the show and tell stuff you want to do? I don't want to cut you off.
We could do that all day. A bar of soap. This is important.
A bar of soap.
A bar of soap.
Baz, do you even know what that is?
I wouldn't hear.
Because we only ever have ours are all in containers.
This is soap, and then one day somebody decided that they could make more money by grinding it up and diluting it in some water and selling it to you in a plastic bottle. So you've got a plastic bottle for no reason, and you've got all the transport costs associated with transporting a bottle of water when you could just have
use it up more quickly.
This. Yeah, this lasts longer. It's cheaper.
Yeah.
It's got no waste. It doesn't have any packaging. It just comes like that.
But it has other people's hairs on it, though.
What?
What?
But when people get to use the shower, it's got other people's hairs and things on it. I guess we could all have our own separate soaps.
Have your own, yeah. Right,
Okay.
so I've got this soap. This is a conditioner. No, this is a shampoo. I'm a liar. That's a shampoo. That's a curly hair shampoo.
Right.
Again, someone invented grinding it up and putting it in a bowl of water. That's a red hair shampoo. It's got hair in it. I've got everything in here. Tomorrow everyone's going to be like, where's my stuff, mother?
That's interesting, though.
Here it is. Right, blonde hair shampoo for a blonde, which is not mine, obviously.
Me.
And then, you can sit on a little soap dish, bamboo soap dish.
Yeah.
Right? And I write on mine what they are because I can't remember what the hell I'm doing.
Right.
So so you can put your name on it. David's soap.
Yeah.
Do not put your pubes in it.
Yeah.
So, it's... Did I say that out loud? Sorry, I've been quite together up until...
You know what? It was fantastic. Loved it.
I have. All right, this is a scrub.
Nobody look it up.
A scrubby soap.
Scrubby soap, yeah.
Scrubby soap. What else we got? Oh, I don't know. I've got conditioner in a metal bottle.
I've heard of most of this stuff, but I've never heard of soap that's shampoo.
No, I've never seen solid shampoo.
That is crazy.
Oh, no, I've seen that before.
But that's great then. We could bug Mum about that, and I guarantee you she'll go for that. Absolutely.
But
any cleaning product.
I don't know if we tried some of that, and for some reason, it wouldn't, like, I found my hair, like, was very, like, it was hard to, like, clean. Like, the soap was very tough.
So you need a different one.
Yeah, you need a different one.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe you need a special noodle raccoon.
Yeah,
maybe you can make your
lovely.
own.
I use this one for curly.
Right.
It's really nice. Okay. But like like anything, like laundry liquid, hand wash, shampoo, anything that is a liquid in a bottle that is for cleaning was a solid. It came as a bar of soap, and they ground it up and put it in liquid for your comfort and convenience. You know, in the 70s, we had soap. Right. That was what there was, and you used it and you shut up. And it's fine. You know, it works.
Right.
Nothing wrong with it.
Right. Well, no, and as a shampoo, I have no problem with the idea of using a block of shampoo. That makes absolute sense to me.
I got a hand cream. Hold on. This one, oh God, I'm covered in it. This one's gooey. Right, so like a moisturizer.
Oh, okay.
Lives in a tin. I'm covered in it now.
Well, I think our moisturizer comes in a metal squidgy thing anyways, I think, our hand cream.
Yeah.
Another science question for you, Candy. Wouldn't a block of shampoo just make sense if you had a head shape like David's? Like, all the geometry really matches up. Like, you know, the square edges and...
Why did I ever invite you? Why did I ever... Maybe I should have said, please come and join us on mute.
I also heard, though, scientifically, that she made art.
Yes, I wanted to make sure we touched on that before we ran out of time. You are walking the beaches of Brighton. Oh, am I allowed to say that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're walking the beaches of Brighton, finding this trash, and turning it into art.
Yes.
Some of them, I gotta say, my favorite ones so far are the jellyfish ones. I love the jellyfish ones.
Jellyfish?
Yeah. Oh, wait. Noodles.
You make peanut butter fish, too? I like peanut butter fish.
Right, there's a tragic story behind the whole jellyfish thing as well, which is that turtles eat plastic bags because they think they're jellyfish.
Aww.
Right.
They can't tell the difference. And then because they can't pass them, they become completely full of bags and then they die.
Aww.
They can't fit any more food in, which is actually quite common for quite a lot of things. Like on Midway Atoll, you get all the albatrosses all die because they're just completely full of lighters and bottle tops. And even down like as far as worms, now you're getting like worm casts that are full of plastic and stuff. So they get completely full of it, and then there isn't any room for any food, and then they starve to death.
I'm more of a turtle guy, but I hear you.
Baz, that's like Flipper Noggin Dude from
right.
Remember that? Flipper Noggin Dude. That was our go-to thing when we were much younger.
Scientifically inaccurate.
Right.
Turtles don't. Well, obviously turtles don't do that. But the thing, no.
Accuracy was never.
Turtles traveling together is not realistic.
Yeah, to be fair, we didn't watch Finding Dory in the hopes of getting. I wasn't thinking we were watching Animal Planet or anything. But yeah, okay, all right. Okay, artwork.
I loved Finding Dory as a child a lot.
I liked
as
it.
a child back then.
I still like it.
No, because I watched it so much at this point, I don't think I can watch it again.
Or
Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo.
That was yes.
Oh my God.
It's funny, that seemed like a really good opportunity for them to talk about plastics and stuff. I wonder did they do that?
I
feel like, did they touch on it at any point? Anyways, so we need to...
I don't remember. The mum gets fridged in that, which is a bit of a Disney trope.
Right off the bat, you gotta kill one of the parents
Let's kill the mum to motivate everyone.
No, it's like now I'm a parent, I feel like I wouldn't last a second in a Disney movie. What about this art though? So you're
so art stuff. So I get all the stuff and then I make it into art, and then it's something that means that people can engage with it. So if I then do an exhibition which I used to do in the before times.
With 2 X's, by the way. Yeah.
Then people can look at stuff and they're like, oh, right, yeah, pretty picture. And they're like, oh, wait. And they'll read what it says. And they're like, this is made from stuff that came out of the sea. And it's something that people can understand more if it's something that you can show them.
Mm.
Yeah.
And particularly, like things like global warming, someone can say, right, no, that's not real. And you're just, shouting at each other. But something like plastic pollution in the sea, you can see it with your eyes. You can look at that and there's no other explanation. You can't say, well, no, that's a natural process when you can see that it's the container that your burger was in.
Right.
So
that is the natural migration of the styrofoam containers.
Just like people that are like, oh, well, why would global warming be real? Like, I don't believe you. Just why? What's the point in not believing it? Like, here's the thing. If you're right and it isn't real, which it is, guys, it's real, okay? If it really isn't real, wasting less, it's gonna be real. How about that? If it's not, if you don't think it's real right now, it's gonna be real pretty soon if you don't try and stop wasting.
Well, yeah, I mean, I have an issue with the whole concept of global warming because I think it should just be called pollution because no one wants pollution. You know what I mean? Like global warming is something you can debate, whereas no one could say like, but I'm for pollution. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's been a spin made that's kind of tricking us into a possible debate when there's no debate. Do we want the air to be less breathable? Do we want the oceans to be more full of plastic? What is it? It works out like by 2050, there's going to be more plastic than fish per weight or something? Like, yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, could you say that again? My goodness, that is...
I think it's by 20... did I get this right, Candy? It's by 2050.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's apparently there will be more, by weight, there will be more plastic in the ocean than there are fish in the ocean.
Yeah.
What?
Holy smokes.
Apparently.
Oh, hi, Wolf Pup.
By 2050.
I didn't say hi to Wolf Pup yet.
That's because they're called Tuttle now.
Yeah, I haven't talked in a while.
Oh, yeah, I just want to say hi, Wolf Pup. I haven't said hi to you.
Hi.
So that, I thought, yeah. I mean, that was just kind of amazing to me So I'm definitely, look, ever since our chat on, what was it, like Thursday or Friday, I've been like everything I use, I'm like, I'm reusing, like we've got these soda bottles, we got SodaStream because we're like, we can't be shipping bottles of stuff back. We'll do a SodaStream. But then the SodaStream bottles, I'm assuming they'll break down, and so I'm drinking plastic out of them too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's all going to kill you. And the more you think about it, the more you're like,
Yeah.
And the thing is, because it's poisoning the environment, but it's poisoning you as well.
Yeah.
So, like, if when you go out and you have a takeout coffee and you have it in a plastic cup, right? Okay, so that's single use. It's obviously horrendous for the environment, and eventually that's going to turn into microplastics to get back into you. But as well, you're drinking the plastic at the time. I wouldn't drink out of a plastic cup.
That Jamie Oliver thing said we swallow or we eat or we consume a credit card worth of plastic every week. Huh?
Yeah.
I can.
So it's like kind of like we eat a credit card every week. Noodles.
Not
Which
literally.
is doubling David's plastic intake.
Not an actual credit card.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah. It's not like inside us is a credit card. Nice try. Like try to use that for credit. Hi, do you accept this week's consumption of plastic as all right. But so the art side of this stuff. Yeah. You're saying by tying you're actually using like the plastic pollutants to make these.
Yeah, so then people it makes it more real for people.
Yeah.
And stuff like, I did one with turtles. It was all made out of straws. It was just completely made out of straws. I did like a color, like gradient on it. So it was like from green down through different blues, and people are like, all of those came off the beach. And it's quite eye-opening. And as well, I tie that in, or did in the before times, with beach clean. So I'll get people to do like a community beach clean. And then afterwards, do a workshop where everyone upcycles that into art.
Oh, cool.
And
so wait a sec. So next time we're in Brighton, you could take us on a beach walk and teach us how to. Can I sell it for a lot of money?
Can you do what?
Can I sell it for a lot of money?
Possibly. You can try. Well, no, I bet you could. You can cash in on your fame. So we have
it's
fame.
a Stargate of plastic, of found plastic.
Yeah. Off you go.
There you go.
Dolly used to pee on canvases. Not Dolly. Warhol. Andy Warhol used to pee on canvases and sell them.
Well, I can pee too, Candy, but I just not.
So if you got a bit of fame behind you, I think you can pretty much sell anything.
Honestly, same thing. Remember I said get someone to sign a thing for me and.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, there you go. You need to pee on a canvas. Get one of your non-fungible tokens rolling on that.
Why do I feel I'm being mocked?
We're in there.
Candy has fit into this whole Hewlett mockery way too quickly.
Yeah, I'm in there.
Right.
I'm in there. Yeah.
Right. You're only welcome here if you're willing to mock and deride me. So,
are we able to see the artwork anywhere, Candy, or like do you have some?
CandyMedusa.com, right?
I can. Well, yeah. The website is probably easier than me picking up the laptop and taking it around my house. Yeah, there is some. There is some on my website. Yeah,
I can try to pull up. If I do this, am I going to screw everything up? I probably am. No, we're going to keep talking. I will put links. I'm going to do some show notes, and I will throw the links in, and I'll make sure to send it into so everyone can go to the TechBandits.com, sign up for the mailing list.
I just take you in my hallway and show you the jellyfish?
That'd be great. Yeah, if you don't mind, that'd be awesome.
Hold on, let me unplug you. This is where everything's just going to go horribly, horribly wrong.
Right.
I can see it.
No,
now.
and it's gone so well so far.
Hold on.
I mean,
right. So I got that's the jellyfish.
See, isn't that amazing?
There we go.
Whoa.
So jellyfish are plastic bags, and the one next to it, that's ghost gear. So that's all washed up fishnet.
Oh right, those ghost nets that are illegal but still.
Yeah, but no one cares, do they? And then there's others.
I feel like as people see it, is as long as they make money.
As long as they make money, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, ghost net's like doubly horrendous because it carries on fishing. So, they just dump it in the sea and then it just keeps catching all of these different animals and fish. And, it's tangled around whales and it's, all sorts, as well as then breaking down into microplastics.
But also, Candy doesn't just do this artwork. She's got some really wonderful... Are they ink and pen?
About 2 hours ago, you were asking me if I do digital artwork.
Well, not digital. No, you would do, but they look like they're hand drawn stuff.
Yeah. I do digital pen. I've got a prop for that as well. Where did I? Right, hold on.
No. I was asking about whether you were doing
props.
Any.
Look.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, hold on. You can't really see it.
What is that?
It's a dippy pen.
Oh.
Yeah, for pen and ink.
Oh wow. That's like Ralph Steadman stuff.
Plastic free, and I've got as well. So this is just like that's obviously for art. This is like a normal pen for writing with. It is a fountain pen that we would have had from our youth. But like this is plastic inside, but instead of like those disposable cartridges,
it's a squishy one.
Sucking, yeah. So when you turn it, it's like an Archimedes screw. You turn it and it sucks the ink up.
I used to have them all the time. I used to love them, except that I got ink all over the place all the time.
Oh yeah, there's a hazard. I mean, the thing, a lot of these plastic swaps are like no-brainers, but then some of them, you are sort of getting something worse. Like, do you remember when you used to get ice lollies from the ice cream man? I don't know what you people call ice lollies. They had like a paper wrapper on. Popsicles, right? Okay. So they had a paper wrapper.
Yeah.
It wouldn't come off, yeah?
Right.
So you're trying to peel it off, and you've got to eat the lolly with, like, bits of paper stuck in it.
Right.
So it being in plastic is an improvement on that because you don't have to eat pieces of paper. But when it was in paper, it wasn't killing anyone. So, sometimes it's difficult to get people to make the swap because you are trying to swap it out for something worse.
Well, and surely there's a way around that. Couldn't they have like an oiled paper or something, Yeah,
but then it's mixed materials and you can't recycle it. If it's wax paper.
Davey.
You can't do the paper. What?
No.
It's wax paper, you can't recycle it. So this is the thing with straws now. Everyone's gone to paper straws instead of plastic straws. But the paper.
Just get a metal straw and use it.
Yeah, metal straw. We got a bunch of metal straws and bamboo ones as well.
They're so awful.
Props. Many props. Look at that. I got them all. I have all the straws.
Yeah, we have the metal straws. You gotta clean them well.
Paper straws are like the worst.
I don't like paper straws either.
That's what we had in the 70s. We managed.
I don't like straws in general
drinks,
now,
they come straight back out. They come in bubbles.
They float back out again. Yeah. But I think they banned single-use straws,
and they wouldn't believe me. Well, I think they banned them here, but I keep seeing them.
Me too. With the bubble tea thing. The bubble teas that everyone loves.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And again, you're not allowed to, even at coffee shops now, you're not allowed to bring in a reusable cup to get your coffee because they don't want to be dealing with cleaning people's cups or touching anything more than they have to. So the theory is that you're just, the plastic is a safer way to go. But and I keep thinking about all those masks. Like, I see masks like littered across.
Oh, yeah. They're everywhere.
Oh, no.
They're everywhere. That's I've got it all. There, here, you need a thing.
Yeah, that's what
it's an N99, so it's more effective than this is the most effective mask you can have. And it's reusable.
Yes, that's
more effective than a surgical mask.
Ideally, that's what you want to be doing. Again, on film sets, they won't let you wear that.
Yeah.
They
should, because it's better.
No, it doesn't matter. They don't because they need a standard. So their standard is a medical mask. So you have to. They're disposable medical masks. They don't want masks lying around because, like, I come on set and if I take a mask off, what they have done with us is they've given us a drawer system where you come into set, you take off you can't wear a mask because you get these marks. So they're usually face shields. You take the face shields off, you put them in a little drawer system, and then you go onto set, and everyone else pulls on their mask stuff, and then we film from there. But yeah, there's a lot of extra plastics there.
Well, can't you just use like reusable masks, like my TechBanditry mask?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying is they won't let us do that because they can't. It's probably a legality thing for some reason.
In a way, I could see it because you guys are trying to get in and out. You don't want people swapping masks. So, yeah, I don't know. How about we make one exception for this little COVID thing on that? Because I can see it.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens because Jane's making a film now, and she's been trying to make it an eco production. So she wants like a zero carbon footprint. She wants recyclable everything, but we're in the middle of a pandemic. So I'm very curious to see what she's able to do that's going to take away from this plastics and such. And because she's always been I've always mocked and derided her for her attempts to do the right thing because that's my job in life. But I'm now beginning to come around to it, and then of course mansplaining to her what she's been trying to tell me all this time since then. So takeaway, Candy, this whole experience, the way you're living sort of as plastic free as possible right now. What do we do? Like, what can I do right now? Like right now.
Okay, today. What you can do right now. Okay, so we're not. We don't need a bunch of people who are perfect. 6 people who are perfect is not as good as 1,000 people who are trying their best. Just pick something. Pick one thing that is something that you can do and that is achievable. With like a whole neurodiversity excitement or whatever. There are things that you cannot do and you won't be able to. And you're not going to remember, or it's something that's not practical to you, or it's something that you can't afford because, like ethics are for people who can afford them. But yeah, just pick one thing, get rid of those face wipes and use a flannel, get a bar of soap, just use less single use, be more mindful in the supermarket, choose something that's not wrapped in plastic, something that's, packaged in paper. Use like a water bowl. Take a bottle of water with you so that you're not buying a plastic bottle of water.
I hate the taste of plastic. Oh,
water. Well,
and that's the poison. That taste is the poison. Like new car smell? That's the poison too. Those tastes and smells are it killing you?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's fun.
That's the sweet smell of death.
Poison. Yeah.
The sweet taste of death. That's lovely. So we can definitely. I know that we do the water bottles for sure.
Yeah.
Like we stopped using water bottles ages ago. I don't even like taking them on set now, even though it's the only way to get water on set again.
Yeah.
Again, we can't have one of those big jugs like we used to. You just go and fill up the water because they're worried about spreading, the disease. But okay, and then I think also, Baz, we could probably do the shampoo thing, right? Like we could probably go with like
definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll do so we can do the shampoos. We can do the water bottles. I'll be much more better about that. Although we do, as I say, so we've been using SodaStream.
Yeah.
Instead of buying soda. Okay, I'm trying to think if there's anything else like obvious that obviously plastic bags. Now whenever I go out shopping, I bring a reusable bag with me that has lots of little doggies on it, and I quite like. I have my favorite little bag, lots of little dogs on it, and that's what I bring with me.
Yep, perfect. Also, like things for lunches, like sandwich bags, paper sandwich bags instead of plastic sandwich bags.
We've been using a thing called beeswax.
Oh yeah, bits. I've got that in my box of props and all here.
But so that's cool. That's good.
Yeah, beeswax wrap. You can get. So if you don't want to use beeswax, you can get like soy wax wraps.
Why wouldn't I want to use beeswax? Oh, if I'm like vegan or something. Right.
So like safe for bees.
Right.
I don't understand the whole veganism bees thing. Bees...
Are you killing the bees by taking their wax?
Yeah, we're punching bees. This is a bee punching process.
The bees are fine.
I think the bees are okay.
Sometimes the bees are abused, like almond milk bees don't have a nice time, but mostly bees are good.
Really? Okay.
But yeah, so you use that instead of like, what are your people called? Cling film, saran wrap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
people.
Okay, so that's fascinating though, because that's a new invention again that I mocked and derided my wife for bringing home. But we now use it all the time instead of Noodles. Have you seen this stuff before?
Oh, we have some beeswax.
I just need to send a small child.
Yeah, it's a beeswax covered sort of fabric, if that makes sense. We'll let her go very, very soon.
She needs to know. Should she be asleep? Good Lord.
What time is it there for you?
It's nearly 11.
Oh my God. Well, good luck getting to bed before midnight. That's generally how it works around here. Candy, if you need to run, don't let us...
No, I don't. That's cool.
Okay.
Just go to bed. Paper sandwich bags.
Paper sandwich bags. Okay.
Yeah. Glass boxes to put things in. This is a plastic lid. You can't have them all. This is Pyrex. You can cook in it. And then you can freeze it, and then you can take it to work and heat it up in the microwave.
Okay.
Those are we have like glass. Yeah, we have those.
Okay, so we should be getting rid of. But then what about?
Yeah, well, getting rid of it is the problem.
That's what I was going to say then. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go through and throw out all my old plastic things that I've been using for... Is that... But what do I do?
You know yogurt containers?
Yes.
We use those for, food, bags for sandwich, for lunch.
Yeah.
Lunch.
Oh, right.
Okay,
so you're reusing the single-use plastic type things. But I thought that was dangerous because...
That'll kill you.
Yeah, I thought the problem with that, Noodles, is that it's leaching stuff into the foods.
Oh, okay.
Because it's not designed to be reused.
I hear you, but it has to be better than, because I'm from like a poor family, so we would drink out of like literally mayonnaise jars for a while, or like she just said, sour cream tub. Well, that's your leftovers. You put that in there and you put it back in the fridge.
Yeah, we use them all the time. We used to anyways. Use them all the time.
You are
if you're getting it in glass in the first place, though. I mean, this is what I've been drinking my wine out of. Used to be a chocolate spread container.
Ah.
Oh, wow.
But it's glass.
So we should not be buying the glass from IKEA then?
No. Well, you don't have to, do you? If you had something that came into your house that you can drink out of.
We get mason jars all the time, so we just use that.
Yeah.
I like mason jars better anyways.
Yeah. Don't you get your white lightning hooch from that anyway, David?
Exactly. That's where my white lightning hooch goes. Thank you, Lance.
Yeah.
Okay, so, wow, so there's a lot of things there. Are there any good places to go to learn about this? Are there any specific organizations or things you like? There's the first off is the expedition place, because eventually Noodles will be old enough to do this. How old do you have to be?
I don't know, actually.
Noodles, would you go on a boat at 45 degrees and sail around the world picking up plastic?
Ooh. Just say yes, you're on TV.
If you cared, you would.
Well, first things first. Depends what boat. Okay.
So it's a 70-foot. I'll send you a link, and you can have a look.
Listen, it has to depend what boat. Also, I'm not that good at sailing. I mean, I sail. I'm just not that good.
Neither's Candy. You should have seen her in the video. She was so sick.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm fine with seasickness.
Are you?
Well, yeah.
Hey, how did you cure it, Candy?
I just carried on being sick.
So you were just sick until you couldn't be sick anymore.
Yeah, well, eventually you get over it. But it's to do with the, how it's moving. So you might be sick one day and not sick the next day. It depends on the weather.
You never get used to it?
I could never get used to it.
Oh, for me, it's just, I've spent a lot of my time on a boat, a lot of time.
So you just got used to it?
So I just got used to it.
I can't go into boats. Even just going into a boat, the whole smell and everything, I'm done. I'm out.
My mom tied me to a swing one time. I know, long story. And because I can't sit up or anything, and she wanted me to experience the swing. And oh my gosh, 3 swings later, and I was like hurling. It was awful. So I have a feeling you and I, David, are.
I have got sick on a swing too. It's true. Yeah, it's kind of sad. I've seen people with these patches behind their ears. But I don't know if that made a difference. So basically you just sucked it up. You were like, I will be sick. Yeah. I'm done.
She is tough. Women are tougher than us, though.
Yeah, totally. I can tell you that. Way better than me.
And all of them except Noodles are way tougher.
Excuse me.
What?
I've seen Noodles play D&D. She's tough.
It's true.
Yeah,
true.
Excuse me. Yeah, me.
All right. Well, so okay. What about our friend Tuttle the Wolf Pup? What are you gonna do, Tuttle? Or Wolf Pup?
Probably, I'm gonna stop using reusable plastics. Even I don't use them much.
Yeah. Like, what's the most used reusable plastic that you're using right now?
I mean, I'd stop using one-time plastics.
So you already don't do that?
No, I don't use reusable plastics. Oh my gosh, my words aren't working.
Yeah, no, I'm getting lost. So you don't use reusable plastic?
What I'm trying to say is
one use.
I don't use one-use plastic. Yes.
Oh, great. Okay, perfect. Great. Okay. I'm a little slow. It's old, and I got a plastic hat on. It's probably leaching into my head.
Don't throw that away, by the way. I got a surprise.
So single-use plastic, you're not using that anymore. Were you not doing that already, Wolf?
No, I already wasn't using it.
Okay. So is there anything else? Give me something else then. Is there something else that we could do, that you could be doing?
I don't really know, because I don't use much plastic other than, like, my reusable water bottles.
Right. So that's reusable. So, okay, so you're basically... What about the shampoo stuff?
Oh, yeah, I use shampoo. I use, what's it called? I don't think I use, like, eco-friendly.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I'm just curious to know where we can cut the corners.
I might cut the corners on that because I don't think I use the best.
Like shampoo stuff.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, because that was a new one to me. I hadn't even thought of that.
My brain is not working at the moment.
No worries. No, it's fine. It's fine.
I understand.
Chips, what do you got?
Yeah.
Chips, is there anything you could be like? Is there anything that jumps to mind for you that could be something that you could get? I mean, I think your folks are pretty good on this stuff already, aren't they?
I'm pretty sure they are, yeah, but I don't share the same expertise as they do.
Right.
Not at all. Sorry. I have nothing that jumps to mind, like, at all.
So are you using shampoo in bottles?
Yes, I am. Yeah. I'm using shampoo in bottles.
Well, I'm gonna look up, because I didn't even think you could do that shampoo in a box, in a block. So I'm gonna look up some of that stuff. If I find some, I'll send links. Or Candy, if you know, are there brands that you like? Or are they all local?
It's going to be British stuff, isn't it?
Right.
So
because the British stuff is the best.
Of course.
But
It's Lush International. Do you have Lush there?
Mosh?
Lush.
Oh, Lush. Yeah,
Lush.
we've had Lush here.
Okay, they do it. They do solid shampoos.
I can't go in there because I get a headache.
Yeah, so do I.
It's too stinky.
What is it? A candle place or something like that?
It's like a soap. It's like a natural soap. They have all these amazing different types of soaps and stuff. But that makes sense that they would have that here. Yeah, then they probably do some delivery stuff as well.
Oh, I think that's just because when there's too much smells all at once, your brain just decides head hurt. I don't know which one to smell.
You mean like so? In the same way that if a really loud cacophony of sound could give you a headache, the same thing can happen with smells.
Well, like I'm thinking it's because there's so much smells that you don't know what one to smell.
Sensory overload.
Indeed. Right? All right. Well, look,
I do have a pro tip, David. I have one pro tip.
What do you got?
Okay, I have to use the straws just because of the thing. But people try to use that all the time, like, oh, they're disabled, So just don't let them do that. You go ahead and get the steel straws and all that. But I've only had one pair of shoes for 20 years. And I think if everybody did that, if everybody just stopped buying shoes every, 5 years or so, we should really cut back.
But what do you do with shoes, though? Because shoes are designed to wear out.
I've never worn them out, so I'm just saying. What are you guys, quitters?
So, Candy, what do you do about shoes? Just leather and stuff, or?
I have got leather shoes, actually. Yeah, I do. I do like a leather shoe.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I've got loads of like plastic clothes and shoes from before I knew anything about this. And so, well, most people have things like stretch jeans. Like if you see,
do not take my favorite jeans from me.
After they've been like decomposed, and it's just got this plastic skeleton inside them. There's a lot of plastic in anything that's stretchy.
I call them my pregnancy pants. They're so convenient.
Yeah.
Because I can expand into them.
But like wash it less. If you've got synthetic clothes, wash them less. You don't need to wash things every day. If you haven't been exercising in them, or you haven't got a baby that's thrown up down them or whatever, do less laundry. There's a really good thing Vivian Westwood's always saying about this, that we're slaves to our washing machines, and just do less laundry, and like wait till you've got a full load, because then you get less abrasion. So you should put it all in at once.
Because the clothes are banging against each other rather than the sides of the thing, right?
Yeah, and you can get different things. You can get like a guppy net where you put them in and it catches the microfibers, and there's little devices that you can put in that will gather them up, which then you can put them in the bin. So then they're going to landfill, but they're not going straight into the sea down your pipe.
Right. They're not being immediately swept into in our case, it would be the Lake Ontario. Right. Okay.
Yeah, because they don't come out. Microplastics don't come out through like.
I will definitely with shoes and stuff. I will definitely like stop using them more once my feet stop growing.
Yeah, that's true. It's interesting though that I hadn't really thought of clothes as an issue, but of course that is another huge problem.
Yeah.
So, well, look, I don't want to keep you too long. So,
I'm good. Whenever I can.
All right. Okay.
We're good.
Right. I get nervous.
You're trying to get away from me.
No, not at all.
Politely.
Do we have any questions for Candy?
If a kid doesn't come up with one, I've got one.
That's all right. Go dive in, Lance.
Okay. There is a game called The Raft, where you're stranded on a raft and you throw out a hook.
Oh, Raft? Oh, I want to play Raft.
Raft is fun.
Okay. So I'm wondering if Candy's trip was anything like that. Where they're throwing out a hook, pulling stuff in, and then building onto their ship. That would be fantastic.
It was a pretty sleek-looking vessel, Lance. I mean, it's not. I don't think this didn't have a very Mad Max look to it.
Candy, have you ever seen that show or that game?
Right, no, I don't know what that is. So
you're basically floating around, picking up garbage, and building a vessel out of it.
Oh right, yeah. No, it's not like that.
Not at all.
We already have the vessel, and then we pick up garbage and fill it with garbage.
Oh, fun.
I realize I should go to chat and see if there's any questions there, right?
Yeah, chat. Yeah, yeah.
All right, what do we got here? I wonder when the next similar type of expedition will leave a Canadian shore. Ah, there you go. Well, why wait? Why not create your own and start picking up plastic? I mean, like, I just think this is a fantastic way to not only see the world, but also, like, maybe do some good along the way. I mean, it seems like a great. If no one's doing this on the Great Lakes, it'd be a fantastic trip. I mean, boy. I mean, there'd be some wicked storms. We get some terrible storms on the lakes. Money seems to come into this a lot. People seem to be mentioning, like, if you don't have the money to, how do you have the, like, is this more expensive? It doesn't have to be more expensive, does it?
Depends what it is, really. But yeah, I mean, it is. Mostly things are more expensive. Like if, say you want to buy a can of soup, right? If you buy 4 cans of soup, it's cheaper, but the 4 cans of soup are wrapped up in plastic.
Right. Interesting.
So, anything like that. So
I know that the wooden toothbrushes are much, like, crazy more expensive.
But it's supply and demand. If you can, if we make that shift to where that's normal, things that are not plastic, then obviously they will be cheaper. They're only more expensive because it's more niche.
So if we were to say you're not allowed to sell plastic toothbrushes anymore, end of story, then the cost of toothbrushes would all drop. All the wooden ones would drop down in price right away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So that would be interesting.
Right?
That might be a
like
start.
the disability equipment, right?
That's right. Yeah. The reason why the assistive tech is so expensive is because there's not enough people using it.
Which means everybody get out there, buy yourself a wheelchair.
The Gimpy G and I are going to change that. Okay, what do we got next? Yes, questions. Does the Cora ball really
I've got
work?
it here. Cora ball, does it really work? Right, yeah, it sort of does. This is the thing that you can put in the machine and it sucks up the microplastics.
Right.
You'll still get some going down the drain, but it does trap them. You can see them. It does get them. But then what are you doing with them anyway? So ultimately then if you're sending them to landfill, they can still end up in the sea.
Right. So they can still leach out. But how is it catching it's just catching particles? I mean, how does it?
Yeah, I mean there's quite a few different kinds, but it's just the surface of it traps them.
So is there going to be a technological solution to these things? I mean, is there going to be a way?
Yeah, there should be, shouldn't there? There should be a filter on the washing machine that's filtering these out.
There's 2 things that I looked into because I'm a nerd. One of them was bacteria that eats plastic. And they've got some that work on the PET plastics. They could get those, but they're not saying it's a solution yet, but it's a possibility. And the other one is my other favorite friend, mycelium. So you can actually there are actually mushrooms as well that can eat this stuff. Again, it seems a little kludgy right now. It doesn't seem like it's a mass producible thing. But are there any other technologies you can think of, anything else that's come up that you thought, oh, maybe this is the way to go?
Well, people do come up with a lot of new things. There's a lot of stuff that can, like, clean the plastic up out of the ocean and stuff, but then that's mostly surface stuff, and obviously it's right way down the water column. So, yeah, I mean, they are looking at all these bacteria and whatnot, but at the moment it's prohibitively expensive, and it's because there's no real financial motivation for them to do it.
Unless it was the cost of doing business.
Yeah. So, at the moment, it's not really going anywhere very much. I would say definitely, the main thing is to use less of it. Okay. That's the solution.
Or produce less of it. That can happen.
Well, and it's one of those things that I feel like when I discovered, when I started questioning my love of meat, I started going, do I have to eat meat in everything? Like, does every meal have to be meat and potatoes? And that, even just that question, I think is probably at least halved the amount of, like, beef we've eaten in the last 2 years. At least half, I would say.
Yeah. It's just mindfulness. It's just thinking about it. It's just looking at the thing that you're holding and thinking, hold on, this has got plastic in. And a lot of things you don't get, like tea bags. Tea bags have plastic in them.
Candy, you're killing me.
No.
So you should be using loose leaf tea, which does not have plastic in it. They use it to seal the edges.
Okay.
How do you keep David from swallowing tea leaf?
Loose leaf tea. I don't even mind the odd tea leaf, but okay.
In your magic teapot.
So
a strange. How do I get my Sainsbury's Red or my Yorkshire Gold?
Yeah. I know Yorkshire were looking into plastic free. I don't know if their bags are plastic free. I know they were definitely looking at it.
Well, they're still wrapped in plastic. When I pull, like, every box is wrapped in plastic.
Yeah. No, I've got in my prop bag. Hold on. These guys, Bird and Blend, but it's a UK thing. But like, you get the tea in a metal canister,
right? Which I like anyway.
And you take that back in, and they fill it back up.
Right. I know that David's Teas
or
does that.
You don't have to have that metal canister at all. You can just take your own thing in there, and they fill it up.
Right. But that's interesting. So basically, any company that I'm buying stuff that's making plastic, it might be worth sending out a tweet and saying like, "Hey, Sainsbury's Tea, I love your Sainsbury's Red. Can you please make sure there's no plastic in the that kind of stuff?" Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, and I'm Rodney from television.
By the way, you may know me from such television shows as I don't just play a coward on television. All right. Okay, so that's something I can do. That seems like a doable thing. Noodles, you've normally got suggestions on this stuff. Noodles, what do we do?
Well, getting more people aware of this is definitely important.
If we put like a flyer up outside Loblaws and said, "Hey, maybe Loblaws is one of our local chains of groceries." It's like a Tesco, basically. That just says like, "Hey, can you?" Isn't it a terrible name? Loblaws.
I thought it was like blank. You were keeping it open for, anybody's local store.
No, we are so creative here that we just came up with Loblaws. It's
Loblaws. Okay, cool.
I guess it's a name. It's a family name or something. Hello to you too, Anticlimax. All right, forget the mushroom that neutralizes gamma. Oh my god, yes, okay, all right. Any more questions for before I unleash her on the world?
I would love to know her website.
Yes. Why don't I put that in there?
Art. I'm gonna put that. Can we put it in the chat?
I'm gonna do that right now. If James Gurney doesn't beat me to it, because he's like lightning figures Gurney. All right.
I have to say I've seen her other work. We've kind of swapped stuff back and forth on the Twitter machine.
Oh yeah, because you're doing some art too, aren't you, Lance?
Well, I did when I was able, and so.
But didn't you do something recently? You did some birds or something. Some fish.
No, I did fish, but it's back in the.
Oh, that was a while ago, was it? Oh, I didn't realize.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It was beautiful. It's lovely. The fish picture is lovely.
We're going to get him back on it soon. Nice. He's going to have the coolest thing for doing it.
Oh, yeah. Wait till you see this, everybody.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Candy Medusa, you are in the chat. So everyone go. James beat me to it again. Damn you, James. All right.
I'm Candy Medusa on everything. So like on Twitter and Facebook and
it's Candy Medusa everywhere. If you look up Candy Medusa, there's no other Candy Medusas, really.
Just that really Versace dish.
Candy, thank you so much for this. I can't believe you willingly took on this.
I mean, David can be very annoying.
Can be? Isn't that just like a prerequisite? Isn't that just a requirement?
Do you want to hear a Stargate story?
You got a Stargate story?
Regarding you being annoying.
No,
yesterday,
no, I don't want to.
Yesterday, I tried to get my eldest to watch Stargate. They've seen like SG-1, but they've not seen Atlantis. They don't like any of it, much to my chagrin.
Someone's got Jason Momoa.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, watch him in Justice League. He doesn't have a shirt. He keeps putting shirts on and taking them off. It's great.
Yeah, fantastic.
Anyway, they're watching this episode. I put an episode of Atlantis for them, and like 5 minutes in, they just go, "Is he always this much of an asshole?"
And you could.
And I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And then about 5 minutes after that, they were like, "Does he die at the end?" Like, no. And they're like, "Oh,
why
I was
not?
really hoping." So yeah, not a fan.
I gotta admit, I like Rodney.
That's great.
I don't know.
I'm an acquired taste. Baz was getting a huge kick out of the tweets around my Clarice character because they were so.
I'm not allowed to watch that in the UK, so.
They're so. You're not allowed to see it. Was it not available there yet?
Mm.
No.
Oh, by the way, April 1st is new episode.
Of what?
When's that on?
Clarice.
When is
Well,
that?
I don't care about that. All I care about
On
is
CBS.
one thing is April 1st is well, at least for our local bookstore, the new Le Bardugo book is coming out. So I mean, that's.
Listen, you're getting it from a local bookstore?
Yeah.
That's so 1940s.
Well done.
Yeah.
I have a book
You're
certificate.
not an Amazon fan?
I have a book certificate for. I have like. I'll tell you the place later. It's.
I think Noodles is alone in her reading here. Everyone else seems to enjoy the internet far more.
Reading's great.
Okay, so any other questions before we
Thank
go? Band to pick up with Dave, all stream, good times, yes indeed. Don't shame her for supporting her local store. I'm in trouble. Ruby K's after
Yeah.
me.
Excuse me. How will the local store survive?
Here's my problem with the local store. I go to the local store, I say, hey, do you have this book? And they say, no, but we can order it for you. And then I say, great, when's it going to come? And they're going to be like, oh, in 3 weeks' time.
Well, you can wait 3 weeks because I had to wait over a year.
Read it, are you? You can wait 3 weeks. No, you're going to get it that day, bring it home, put it down somewhere, forget that it existed, and remember it in 6 weeks. So why not just wait?
Candy will not be welcome back, just so we know.
She will be welcome back because I agree. For example, I've been waiting over a year for this book to come out. Do I care if I have to wait an extra week? I mean, that sort of sucks, but actually, it technically releases on March 30th, so I have to wait 2 extra days. But I'm actually getting it, so that's all that really matters.
I'm still haven't bought my new computer. It's got nothing to do with plastics or anything, though, so I can't really, it's just because it's too expensive right now. Candy, thank you so much for staying up to the late hours, ignoring your own children to talk with us.
They should be asleep.
They better be
sleeping.
No, they're not. They're upstairs, probably eating plastic wrapped candies
and riding the
pigs. They're eating credit cards up
and
there.
ordering things on Amazon for tomorrow's delivery. That's probably what they're doing. If their child's anything like mine. All right, everybody, we should say thank you to Candy and
thank you so much.
And we should wrap up because I got to go make dinner now.
Thank you.
But here's the embarrassing part, Candy. We have dinner. We have the meals delivered so that I can cook them because I'm too stupid to figure out how to do it. I panic if there's not. But everything last night I was like, plastic. So you've really got me.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you've made me miserable.
A lot of those recipe boxes are because you're like, oh yeah, here is your portion of paprika or whatever, and it's all in little sachets.
So I got to figure. I've asked Jane about it because I said, like, should we be going to like the grocery store? I mean, like,
you could also do something crazy like buy a cookbook and
Yeah,
cook.
but
you might have to wait 3 weeks for it.
But that
Oh no!
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So I'm just gonna have lots of. That's my excuse to use lots of plastic while I'm waiting.
Search up recipes online then.
No, I just think it's really. Thank you.
That is a thing. Yeah, I've heard of that. Recipes on the internet.
Yeah, that's how I make my bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
It's kind of modern, but
Yeah. It's
and then just wait for your cookbook or get same day delivery Amazon or something. I don't know.
There you go, Candy. You're probably not. I'm assuming you're not a big Amazon fan.
I am not. They are very, very convenient, but the convenience obviously comes from not paying their workers or paying any taxes.
Right, comes at a cost for sure. That would be nice. Yeah, I feel like these big companies would be nice if they pay taxes, and in the case of this plastic stuff now, I want them to actually. I don't see why. I think it's quite remarkable how they've managed to make it seem like it's our problem.
Who is it? Who owns Amazon again?
Jeff Bezos?
Oh yeah, I don't like him.
Yeah, smart guy.
I don't care if he's smart. He has so much money, he could afford to pay people extra.
Right.
He could afford to not get as much money as he does. Why do you think he's the richest person? Because he doesn't pay anyone.
And pay taxes. Well, he was also first to a market that just didn't exist. I mean, this is the weird thing about these things is I admire them as entrepreneurs, and then they become these big corporations, and we've got to stop rewarding them for just making money. We want to reward them for making life better for people as well, and a quality of life, I think, needs to be. They need to sort of like say like how this company is successful in what way. Just financially, that's one thing. If they're successful at the cost of people's lives and and quality of life and healthcare and education, all that kind of stuff, then obviously.
I love that.
Yeah.
So more
Also,
criteria
I want to
for
say,
success.
David, that back
exactly.
to
Yeah.
I want to say, David, back to the book thing. Our local bookstore near the area we live is really good and has a lot of books. Okay, so.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. I'll tell you some bookstore stories.
How much do you actually
read?
read?
Using the local bookshop. We absolutely
David,
should.
do you even really read that much?
I'm exclusively online now. The only thing I buy, I go to my local comic book store, and I buy graphic novels from them because I like owning them. I don't like them in digital form. So, all right, Candy.
I love you.
Thank you so much. I'm going to wrap everything. Why don't I just wrap it all up at the same time? Maybe that's the best way to do this. I will say, Candy, thank you so much. Everyone, my wife has told me that my best approach now is to sit down, write out my notes, and send them off to everyone, so everyone's got some nice show notes to look at. So I will be sending Candy's website. I will be sending the video clip to a little documentary about her trip, where you can see her being very, very sick, and also very adventurous as well. I've got to say, I was like when they interviewed you down in the hold of the boat. I was like, wow, she's like, yeah, you're gonna get roped in here so you don't fall out, and she's very And also maybe we'll list a few of the ideas. And if anyone's got any new ones, if anyone comes up with any ideas, please let us know. Noodles, Chips, Ham, Tuttle, Lance.
Don't call me Tuttle.
You called yourself Tuttle. You named yourself Tuttle.
Thank you.
I did?
Yes.
Sure, that's Toothpole. Wouldn't Tuttle have double T?
Is it like a turtle? Are you like trying to be ecologically friendly? Anyways, all right. I will say, be safe, be kind, be brilliant, and until we geek again, cheerio and huzzah!
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Have a great night. Cheers. Thank you so much, Candy. Thank you, Lance. Talk to you soon.
Bye.